Yo, we back, man. We had some technical difficulties, man. The Gremlins. We out here, man. Like we doing a fish fry here up in the Long Green Studios, man. We up in here. We got a lot going on. Had a little power outage, so now we getting everything all situated. But we back live and in the building. And Run, guess who's in the house? None other than Run NIT, and is in the building.
Yeah, did you guys see my text messages?
No, we didn't.
So quiet.
Yeah, I mean,
So quiet.
you couldn't hear nothing?
I turned my volume all the way up in my car, and it was still not as loud as I would normally think it should be.
So
like on a regular volume. It's real quiet.
It's real quiet, so you can hear us, but it's not loud.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was
It's
pre.
clear. It's just very, very quiet.
So that was before the power outage. Yeah, we had technical difficulties.
Okay, well,
Everything looks like it's coming through the board, okay.
Maybe just pump up the gain a little more. I guess just pump up the volume, pump us up, turn
turn
it up, Run.
Mine up all the way.
Turn it up, turn up.
Spoons we can dip out of here with.
Yeah, we got turn up. Run is in the building. Like we redlining. Bring us all the way up, turn us all the way up. And this is all being recorded, by the way. So I'm doing what they.
The air fryer with him.
No, he Long Grant the air fryer. But right now I'm doing what they call filibustering. So whenever you go to Congress, this is what they do. They just talk a bunch of nonsense to keep people entertained from the question.
We just did that on air.
Yeah, we're filibustering right now.
I wonder if we sound any better, man. Like the levels look great.
I'll pull it up once we're live again.
Yeah, we
We
live
are
right
live.
now. But Run, I literally say I'm filibustering right now.
Well, you just said it was recording. I'll pull it. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow. Don't
What
shoot
happened?
somebody's eye out.
I totally just flung like the potato
Oh.
salad thing. It's over there.
Yo, it's dangerous in the yo tonight, yo.
Hey,
Yeah.
everywhere there's safety goggles.
Yeah, we definitely got the our new we action to be our corporate sponsor, Crown Royal. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be the Crown Royal brothers.
Peach crown.
Yeah, that crown is delicious, man.
Ooh.
Ah!
Smooth, daddy.
I'm live right now. We on right now.
It doesn't say you're live, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it's on right here.
I got all the options.
Yeah, you fine.
I'm gonna go with red skin potato.
Of course you're going with Redskins, you racist bastards. Yeah. So
That's convenient.
I am a red skin.
yeah. Was you Indian?
Yeah. No, it's much more than that.
Elizabeth Warren.
Right.
Whatever.
So you what? See,
Nothing like her.
would you like 16%? You get free. You get if you get your car, you can get like some tax breaks. If you like 16%,
I am.
116, we could be 1/16 is like the cutoff.
Right, let me do the math.
Yeah.
I am 116.
Oh, you need to look into getting your car. You get like taxes breaks.
I really think through that math. That was junk.
But yeah, if you 1/16, then like your student loans, all that stuff is paid off.
Well, I want that.
Yeah, well, you need to have a car. You have your Native American card. I know this because my ex-wife was Native American. She's 1/16.
Don't have one of those, but I'm sure
She was part of the Nottoway tribe.
call my grandpa.
Yeah, she was part of the Nottoway tribe. So they had like a little car. But my daughter's, because she's 1/16, my daughter's is 1/32.
I won't have it. I go, oh, I know it's in my car. Can't find
What were
it.
we looking for?
Yeah, so
I was in Virginia and didn't need it.
Super quiet.
so we still can't hear me right now. Like
I can hear you, but it's very quiet.
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it up a little bit. We gonna.
I guess it's better this way.
So we got the little game. So yeah, right now I'm doing what they call filibustering.
Why did you not spell privilege correct this
I
time?
don't know. I was rushing. I'll get it right next time. Run is a resident.
Put it in the text for you.
Well, I don't look at text messages.
It's better.
Huh?
Yeah, so we got to plug. We got to plug over there.
Is this start for me?
Yes.
So we got to
About
plug
the
over
right
there.
size.
It's close.
Yeah, we live and direct. We live right now, by the way. Yeah, we live. Yeah, I'm doing what they call filibustering.
It's better. It's better than it was.
People love hearing us just ramble. Like people love that. So
Never do.
yeah, we ramble. That's all you do. It was very
A
entertaining.
lot of what we do.
Yeah.
All right, somehow, Jeezy, you're going to have to reach behind you and grab a chair for Run from behind the speakers. Other side.
I'm gonna do a reach around. Run, give her a reach around.
That's her job. Yeah, man. So we are live in Long Green Studios. Like, it's half party. It's half fish fry, half podcast.
It's real serious tonight.
Like we're kicking it. Like we're vibing. Oh man, yo, the plates of food I'm seeing around here, spectacular. These people know how to throw a party.
We are. This chair is silly. We're the hostesses with the mostesses.
Yes,
Or at least I
my
am.
man.
I like to believe that I am. Am I sharing with Jeezy tonight? Already asked for spoons for the record. Jeezy does not share well with others. I bet if you looked at his kindergarten report card, that's what it would say. Does not share well with others. You, Jeezy, LGZ, and
I
Baku,
need somebody to talk on
does
the mic.
not share well with others. Hey guys, it's Run with no introduction. Here we are.
I know we have the guest host in the building.
I mean, I'll go. I can ramble. I am really good at this.
Why are we doing that?
Because we're live.
Is it louder now?
Hi, welcome. Yes. Well, I wish I could check it, but if I got to talk, then it'd be weird if I started checking it too.
I mean, women love to talk.
I don't have anything to talk about right now.
What? There's always some women.
That's because, listen, okay, here. I could totally do that. That I can do all the time. Here's the thing. Today.
Math equation about women.
Say what?
There's a math equation about women.
People aren't going to be able to hear you.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay. So I, today, was off of work, which was beautiful. And so I sat at home. No, yesterday, first of all, was Indigenous Peoples Day, and we will get to that. Thank you very much. But I watched a lot of, what did I watch today? HGTV, and it made me very, very happy. So I could pretty much remodel a house with my own bare hands as of right now.
Why were you going to get into Indigenous people?
Is this one?
They lost.
We're going to talk about Indigenous Peoples Day.
They lost Super Bowl.
We're going to talk about Indigenous Peoples. If you want to talk about white Jesus, we're going to talk about Indigenous Peoples Day. Thank you very much.
That actually seems fair.
Is this one plugged in? I can use two mics and be overpoweringly loud.
I love the way Run handles two mics.
Sorry.
Ron got two mics.
Yep.
Two black
Two
mics.
black mics.
Yeah, on Black Privilege Day.
Double fisting.
Welcome. Welcome to a little snapshot of Run's life. Here you go. Everybody's welcome for that mental picture. So,
She totally just went there. She said she gave everybody a mental picture.
I did.
You caught that.
I
you
did.
caught that.
Yep. You're all welcome. So,
Wow.
there you go.
Wow.
Now you know.
All we need now is some white paste. So let's get into
that's
the
gross. Too far.
No, it's never too far.
That's one step way too far.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You crossed the line, so I'll just continue to go.
No, I didn't. I was talking about microphones. I had two microphones.
I'm a habitual line stepper. You ain't know that?
I did
know
that.
So let's get into Indigenous People Day.
Okay.
And why
let's talk
was
about
that
Indigenous
important?
Peoples Day because Christopher Columbus is a liar and a rapist.
But he discovered America.
No, he did not discover America.
come-
That is 100% false.
Whoa! Like, hey, real quick,
Why is it
Hi.
that? Why is it in this woke generation people are mad for getting off days?
yeah, I know. Like, I already told y'all years ago, David Duke Day, I'm off.
I'm off. If I'm off, no way.
Yeah, I'm getting paid for it
I don't
too.
get it.
I'm off.
I'm off.
David
I'm
Duke
off,
Day.
dog.
I don't get that one.
You know what? 20
what
years
David
from now,
Duke is?
No.
if the Lord
He
blesses,
was like the leader of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh,
if the Lord
I should
blesses
know
me to
that.
live 20 years and have Donald Trump Day, and
I'm
we
off.
get paid for it,
I'm off.
I'm off.
I'm off.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna send a bunch of tweets in his honor on
I'm
my
off,
off
man.
day.
as you should.
People.
Yeah.
I mean,
Trump Tuesday.
Trump. Dude, I like that. you need to go ahead and buy that domain.
All right, so hey, check this out,
Indigenous
folks.
People Day.
We had all kind of stuff going on.
That's what we do.
We in here cooking
welcome.
and baking and all kind of stuff. What happened? So no, I bet it need that light on to make it happen. I bet that's what happens. Hey, so
That went off.
we in here trying to fry some fish. We in here trying to fry some fish, man.
And the thing is, that's
some
on a
chicken.
whole different. That's on
You
a
know
whole
what I'm saying?
different setup.
But I didn't hear anything back there. Oh, the music went off though. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So, this air fryer is
I mean,
smoking the longer.
man, you know what I'm saying? Like D-Lo,
Back
like,
on.
There it is.
we immediately went
Yeah.
to. I'm plugging it
Huh?
outside. Try that one.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, so hey, folks, we in here. I tell you what, man, it's absolutely
want some
amazing.
wings. Yo,
It's
you brought the
absolutely
wings.
amazing, man. Hey, reach over there and grab the thing from me.
Get-
There you go, man. All right, so Folks, Xavier's radio show. This is this Black Privilege Part 2?
Yeah, part 2, part 2.
Part 2, because we making a mistake, and I shouldn't have made that noise. I don't mean it like that, but I know how y'all gonna take it.
All right, he's talking about mental people because he said.
I know how you gonna take it,
I know,
man.
right?
It ain't even like that, man.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about, man. Soft ass liberals, man.
Pineapples.
Right.
Ass is acceptable now, man. You can say ass.
No, wait, it is.
You just made me say see, there you go.
I say it because of the
apologize.
children. I say it because of the children, not any
apologize.
adults.
I don't think you have to apologize.
Not any adults. I just say it because of the children.
Children hurt. Children, their dad's playing probably Tupac in the car.
For sure. I know my children, they heard it. You know what I mean?
He's for sure heard
the
Tupac.
little seeds here, I tell a goofy story real quick before we jump right in the show. So one time,
wants to
man,
hear the
you know,
story.
obviously I'm a divorced man, right? And we in the house chilling, we watching TV, you know, we watching a movie, something. I fall asleep, right?
Shocking that
I
you
fall
fall
asleep.
asleep during a movie.
I fall asleep, and then of course the little seed stays awake.
It's not long enough.
Just
Welcome.
move this. Come over here and move that over there.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that Avon education is really paying off.
yeah. All right, so
We need
Hey,
we
so-
need to go. We
All right,
need
so-
to go
hey,
to
so-
the school. What is it?
Cardinal Ritter.
No, the one in
Wood, back in the
Raymond
day.
or Raymond.
I'm not
Manual.
saying no.
Man, he need more
Hey, so anyway, so check this
improvisation
out.
skills.
So I get a call.
Right.
I get a call from the ex right next day, on Sunday afternoon. I can't believe you. I'm like, what? Like, and nothing happened. It was a great weekend. The little C came in talking about he watched what's that with NWA now?
Just
Straight Out of Compton. Was it Straight Out of Compton? Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
He seen Boys in the Hood. I'm like, oh well, I had nothing to do with it. I just
There
fell
are good
asleep.
life lessons in Boys in the Hood.
I fell asleep, man. You know, he stayed
Those
awake.
every bit of 16. Yo.
No. This was when he
That's
was
probably-
8.
He was
Yeah, it's about 8 years
so he
ago.
was dad of the year.
Yeah. For
He
that
needed
weekend.
those furious lessons early.
Right.
Right. Those are important to
I mean,
know.
The juggling of two balls.
and I'm gonna tell you right now. In my day, my grandma, I stayed up all night on the weekend. My grandma, you know, she slept in a chair, and I was up there, man, until I fell asleep. So, man, it's just kind of how it is. But these
Yeah.
days, it's not like that. So, Heavy's radio show, man, we're here, man. If you, I guess our part one was kind of low, but if you can hear it, man, it was a great show.
It was a great show. It was 9 minutes.
going, yeah.
It's about as long as a lot of our sex lives. But
And it was a good quality, strong nine.
It was a strong
nine.
nine. Yeah.
As opposed to a
soft
soft
six.
7.
It was like a Frank Thomas 9.
Right.
Frank Thomas,
It was-
and you will too.
Right. It was
Yeah.
a eugenics.
Right.
Nah, but y'all missed
Super
the
T.
classic. We thought Moose was having a stroke. Y'all missed that part.
You did think it sounded like it. What was I trying to say? Black privilege.
You said
Oh, I
black-
didn't-
you said black privilege.
Yeah, I just like
I
fell
did
off.
hear that part.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Everybody's looking at me like, you okay?
You okay? You good?
They called 911. Oh, he's cool.
Normally
Right.
we go, well, we
Right.
was all like,
No,
how's
it was
your
different.
arm?
Right.
You good?
Trying to see if I had some slower coming
Right.
out. Anyway, hey, man, we
he
up
was a
in
little
there.
palsy on us.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Man. That's crazy. And I love y'all. We love all
Gary
y'all.
Bell's palsy.
Oh,
Moose,
Lord.
a.k.a. Jim Ross.
Oh, Lord. I'll roll
My
with it.
God, he's there. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll roll it, though, man. I'll be cool with it. I'll start pimping and everything that way. You know
That
what I mean?
way.
Like when you walk.
That's it.
Yeah, all right. So, anyway, we up in here, man. We got to go.
We got to go. Like we in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
Party is back.
The party
Yeah,
is
for
back.
sure. We back, man. Jamaica funk. That's what it is.
Yo, that's on the old school extended mix.
Nice. We up in here. All right. So, Jeezy, I think we was going to get into something, man.
Hey, the
but-
liberals, man. Why we got to apologize so much? You know?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. All right, so, and Run's here right now. All right,
Yes.
I got this thing. All right, check this out. Some of you are old enough maybe to remember a television show called Three's Company.
Yes.
Could Three's Company be seen today?
No.
Come and knock at your door.
Because the
Come
fact
and
that
knock
Jack
at
act
your
like he was
door.
Don't ever come knock on my door. Just text me if you're there.
We've been waiting for you.
Nope, just text me.
waiting for you.
But the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I say, well, I'm sorry. What we say? The kisses are whose?
His and hers and hers.
Hers and his.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun time to me.
Right.
All right, so
Yeah, but the fact
premise.
that Jack Tripper was acting gay to score 2 women.
I was gonna say the premise of the show, G's, and I can't wait to. So I'll give the premise, and I can't wait to hear what you got to say. The premise of the show was that there was a young man in his 20s that needed a place to live. The groundskeeper, the manager of the place, the owner, did not want unmarried couples to live there. So this guy, Jack, acted like he was a homosexual so that he could live with 2 female roommates. Mm-hmm. And so there was one female roommate that was blonde and very, very
Chrissy
ditzy.
Snow.
There was one roommate that was beautiful and dark-headed.
Janet.
Yeah, man.
Janet.
Joyce DeWitt, by the way, who was on my top 3 of my Mount Rushmore when I was a child.
Yeah, Janet.
I get it.
And so Janet, and then there was Jack Tripper, who was a guy who was not a homosexual, who pretended to be a homosexual in the home
With a homeboy
so that he could live there.
That was scoring more chicks.
Man, and Larry. Now they also had Larry, who was a misogynist gigolo.
He was a heavy hitter.
He was a heavy hitter.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Jeezy, give me your thoughts on how that show. What is the commentary on that show today?
It wouldn't even make it past the pilot stage unless Jack was actually gay. Like the fact that he's
Right,
acting,
you would have to cast a gay guy to play Jack because it's immoral for a straight guy to play a gay character.
Gay guy. Well, no, I don't know if it's. No, what I can't say that because
He's not gay. He's acting
I'm
gay.
gonna say that. I'm gonna say why. In real life,
I'm just
you get away
sparking up
with-
what the
because on Modern
controversy
Family,
would be.
The one dude's not gay. On Modern, one dude is gay, but the other guy is not gay. Cam is not gay. If you ever watch Modern Family,
Do you mean in real life?
in
he's
real
not
life
gay?
he's not gay, but he plays a gay kid. The other guy's gay.
But we talking about
But
Three's
Company. It's so much. It's too much. I don't think I personally would have a problem with it, but because I just think that it's TV. But society today, that show could not exist.
So what would society say, D-Lo, about a man that's acting like he's in the LGBT community, living with 2 women? One of them is super ditzy, not very smart at all. The other one,
I mean, and
She
that
plays a
speaks to
blonde
it right
stereotype
there.
for sure.
It plays to a blonde stereotype.
right?
I think you would almost have to make Janice lesbian or bisexual.
or black.
You know
Somebody
what?
has to be black. 'Cause there was no blacks on the
This
show.
is major network TV. I don't know.
By the way,
By the way,
I don't know if that would be a major issue for
No,
the
no, 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 no.
masses.
What
Not
years did
one.
Three's Company run?
not
Do we know?
one black person at the Regal Beagle where they used to hang out.
Well,
When-
in
when
today's
later on-
world, they've got a cook position open. Guess who
I'm
that's going
going
to?
back in my mind. I don't ever remember a black friend. I don't remember nobody black on the show.
Not a patron at the Regal Beagle.
Nope.
Not once Jack opened his own little Jack's Bistro. Nobody came in there to eat. None of it.
None of it. So it would have to be. There was a Hispanic though, I believe.
It might
he
have
was in
been.
the kitchen.
I'm sure he was washing
And then it
dishes.
was
so.
Julio, I believe. It's always
All right,
Julio.
so here, what's the
Sounds
reason?
right.
What's the reason here? What's the reason that we watch that stuff as children, and now the folks, and this must not be us that are having trouble with this. What's the reason that society's having trouble with this kind of stuff now?
Oh, it's this woke. Now everybody's like this whole woke, as I use air quotes, generation, and the Little C's generation.
What are they? X? Are they X?
She's
I'm a
millennial.
millennial.
She's a millennial.
Millennial.
Yeah, we're X.
Oh, I'm X.
I'm X.
We're
We're
X.
X.
The littlest seed's Gen Z.
Okay, so we got ZX.
Your gender
and-
what?
Z.
I know, right? You heard that too,
Gen
didn't you?
Z.
I'm having the same problem he did on privilege.
All right, so I got a question. All right, so I don't think we answered it yet. I mean, is society gonna be able to handle that show?
No, not.
And what are the
so-
reasons?
Not in today's
Well, because
world.
number one, it's considered to be misogynistic.
What about
A
Mr.
man
Furley?
with 2 women,
Okay.
on the show.
Stereotypical.
I think the more so than anything, the gay part of it would be like they would just steamroll that show, all 10,000 of them, just angry.
Why?
We just
What's the
steamroll.
reason there's only 10,000?
There's not. See, when it comes to people who argue or complain, the thing that we never do is we never look at the numbers of people that's complaining. And the numbers of people complaining is always less than like 1%. A lot of gay people just want to live their life, man, and be left alone, man, like everybody else. But then it's this loud minority within this subculture that complains about everything, that no one can ever be happy. And it makes it seem like it's way more than what it is.
Because so you tell me there's a subsection of folks that are homosexual, gay, lesbian, and all the other letters.
They can laugh at jokes.
Fine. They happy, yeah.
And if you go back, and my friend pointed this out to me on Sticks and Stones, the one girl, Daphne, the transgender lady, killed herself. And that she was a part of.
And that was in real life.
Real life.
Yes.
But they show how Dave Chappelle talked about how he was telling a joke and she was over there laughing. He was talking about gay. He was talking about black jokes. He was telling white jokes and she was laughing. He was like, man, I wonder you gonna laugh hard when I get to these gay jokes. You gonna feel the same way. He said, so he told the jokes and she was laughing. You know, he was laughing too. You know, like she was like enjoying the show. So after the show, she was at the bar. And she called him over. It's like, hey, can I have a drink? Whatever. So he was like, well, I'm not homophobic. So he went over and had a couple, told her laughing. He goes and sit down, and he asked her, you know, thanks for coming out, whatever. You guys had a good time. She was like, yeah, the jokes was hilarious. He was like, well, why is it that, you know, people get mad when I say something, but, you know, people get offended? She was like, I don't know. It's funny to me. It's just jokes to me. And then he finished up by saying, I realized that, Daphne was a man. Which means that women can't get the jokes, but men clearly can get the jokes.
No. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
GC always has to go that one step. I'm telling you, one step too far,
That's
always.
hilarious.
Well, I mean,
But it was kind of poignant.
That's what he does.
All right, folks. Have his radio show. All right, so we told you a little earlier about Run That News. Is it warm? Is it warm?
Hot. Mm-hmm.
All right, outstanding. Hey, so we talked about Run That News, man. We're ready. We're ready for some Run That News
great.
before we get into the rest of the stuff.
Perfect. So the biggest news today.
What's the name of the show?
Black privilege.
Yeah.
Spelled incorrectly.
The first sentence.
Black mouth spelling.
Yeah, but mouth and privilege are still different, and I just think that you could still, I don't know, use spell check. Privilege is a hard word to spell, I'll give you that, but I think you could still use spell check.
I tell you what, privilege took me out of a big move I made in my life, man. That word right there. I misspelled it on a spelling test.
If you heard the show, you are forbidden to bring up the four-word Dallas thing.
It changes the
I don't know what you're talking about.
The black lady got shot by the white cop.
P-R-I-V.
In Dallas.
I'm not even trying.
I-L-E-D-G-E.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't bring that up.
Okay.
Is it privilege?
Why?
Is it?
Yeah, I believe
It's
so.
black privilege. So we need
no
world star hip hop news.
Well, I have DMX in my news.
Give us what we got. Oh, he went in rehab. Go next.
Okay, well, Run That News is over. No, I'm
That's
kidding.
not sorry.
So,
Go.
DMX did check himself into rehab. There was not a relapse. He said that he just needed extra coping skills to deal with the world before he did have a relapse.
That is so awesome. The
bless
fact
his
that we
heart.
started off with a black story
That's
on
the only
black
one.
privilege show.
Oh, no, I have another one. I have another one, too. No, I have another one about a black person. Hold on, but I'll save that one for
I'm
last.
changing my mind about you, Run here. You got
I'll save
some
that
more
one for last.
potential.
Also, in jail news for fun, Felicity Huffman, if you guys remember from the college scandal.
Oh, finally, a white person
Yeah,
in jail
I know.
story.
I wanted to make sure you guys were comfortable.
You know what? This black
what she
privilege
in
show is
Dangerous
really
Housewives?
working out.
What's that? Dangerous Housewives? No.
Dangerous Housewives is not a show.
What's the name
the
of
Real
that show
Housewives?
she was on? No, not the Real Housewives. She was on the show where they was all
know.
housewives
Sex
that
and the
lived
City.
on the street.
No, she's not in that one.
No, she
I've seen all those.
wasn't on that one either. It was some show where they lived on the street and like the moms were, everybody was kind of crazy a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Felicity Huffman. It might have been Desperate
that's it.
Housewives. Yeah, that's
I never watched that. Anyway, so
It was
she
a good
just
show.
turned herself in for her 14-day sentence.
Okay, all right.
So don't worry, she'll be out in time to take her children trick-or-treating.
You know, it must be nice though because what they did was they offset her sentence and her husband's sentence. That way, somebody can be home with the children.
How nice.
Yeah.
So she's got...
Let's not act like that's an unprecedented thing, man.
Who else has that happened to,
A
GC?
lot of people have had.
Like who?
I've known people who have turned. Plenty of athletes have had the ability to turn themselves in. Plaxico Burress was arrested, and he waited like 2 weeks to turn himself in. People have waited and got offset sentences before. This is not something new or exclusive to only white people. Let's stop that.
No, I'll give you.
Let's not. That's why I hate when we tread down this road like only white people get this type of stuff done for them. When no, it's a money thing. If you got
It's a
money,
socioeconomic thing.
it's a social economic thing. That's why we'll start pointing that out. Run.
For the record, none of that was my argument. I just said that she was going for 14 days. She also has a $30,000 fine and 1 year of supervised release. So we'll see how long that actually lasts for her. President Trump is going to beat up a blues player. Did you guys see this? He says that he thinks that he could take him in a fight. So he is going. So they were celebrating the Stanley Cup win.
St. Louis Blues?
Yes. Alexander Steen. Donald Trump says that he thinks he could take him in a fight. So maybe that'll happen. That would probably make World Star, right?
No.
Donald Trump fighting a hockey player you don't
First
think
of all,
would make...
hockey would not make World Star.
It might, since Donald Trump's in it. Also, I think of any of the people in the world that I would maybe want to fight, I would not choose a hockey player. I just feel like they fight all the time, and so I probably would not want to go with a matchup with them. Yeah.
Stay away from.
Like a basketball player, I could maybe step into that. Hockey? No. Hard pass. So we'll see if that occurs. It would be amazing if it did. Okay, so here's the big news in the white world today. Jennifer Aniston has joined Instagram, and it's like it has been like stopping the whole universe. She posted a selfie of her and her cast of friends, and so like
Who's that?
the world stopped. Jennifer Aniston finally joined Instagram. The world has stopped because of it. I'm telling you that
Do
I
you
was
even
at
care
home
about
today.
that?
No, but I was at home today, and it was all over the Today Show. Everyone. Ridiculous. Why does it matter? Guess what?
Jennifer Aniston, right?
So,
She's a celebrity.
she's late to the Instagram party.
That's my
Also,
jam right there.
Cuba Gooding Jr. has pled not guilty in his sexual abuse allegations.
Man, I did not know that was that bad. Like, I heard a little bit about that today.
12
I know we
allegations.
did. We watched it, but I mean, here's the thing. I mean, he was drinking and whatnot. I mean, is it a situation where when she walks up, he just starts groping her and stuff? I mean, I kind of watched the video a little bit, but I didn't say it like that. Like, I didn't realize it was that difficult for her.
So there was 12 allegations, and there was a 4-count indictment and 2 charges from the original accuser. So as of today, he has pled not guilty to those. What do you guys think will happen?
Here's it all.
You think
He got a little money, right?
He'll settle.
he'll just have to pay?
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely gonna pay.
Hey, folks, this show is
Ew.
brought to you by Fried Chicken. Majeez, you got a mouthful of chicken trying to talk.
I know. That's
What the
because he
heck?
can't help
Dip
himself
it in
from
hot
talking.
sauce, man.
Yo, matter of fact, won't somebody run me a couple paper towels and a piece of that chicken?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So
yeah, you know, actually, I got
the
some.
accuser,
Oh,
pineapples, everyone. The accuser has said that he told her, "Sit on my face,
We
pee
can
in my
share that.
mouth,"
Me and you
which
can
is
share that. I
disgusting.
already broke that one off.
Why
So
would anyone
are we
say
at the
that?
point now where just because somebody says something to you, like that's the end of the world because somebody says some disgusting things?
Well,
to you?
she has claimed that he also put his hands on her.
From what I understand, he grabbed her breast and grabbed
Yes.
her booty a little bit. and all
I didn't see
that.
that in the video.
I didn't either, but I mean, that's
So
what
why
they
you in his
saying.
space? Like he didn't come to you. You came to him.
She did come to him, but here's the thing, though. I mean,
You
this
still have the
because
right
you-
to say no.
You walked up to me.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. You walked up to me.
you
ain't-
can't.
I walk
jump-
up to you so
can't-
you can grope me?
No.
No.
You can't jump in her bubble though.
But,
you
he,
know
but he
that.
didn't do that. But you walked up to me. I'm minding my business.
With my woman. He's
with
with his
my
woman.
woman, and
Yeah,
you
he's with his
came
woman.
over and then leaned over my woman. So like, what are you doing? Like what are you doing?
Here's the thing. Keep your hands to yourself, though. Keep it good and Junior. We love you.
But
Keep
in
your
the
hands to
video, he
yourself.
didn't do nothing.
Keep your hands to yourself, Cuba.
Yeah, but it's an awful image seeing him being handcuffed and walked by the police.
All
Terrible.
believers, man. All
Speaking of that, man, you got anything about Matt Lauer in there?
No.
Of course not.
Oh, of
Yo.
course not. Well, we're trying to keep that secret, right?
Yep. Always.
what's
Son
happening,
works for
man.
NBC.
That's right.
Hey, man, my man, I used to like Matt Lauer. I mean, he's not on TV anymore, so obviously I can't like him, but I tell you what, he was up in NBC clowning
When was this?
his whole career.
Oh.
His whole career, and the biggest one that all came out when he was in Sochi. They was out there, man, kind of drinking, having a good time, which we know that everybody would if you in the after you get off, you know what I'm saying, you chilling, whatever. And so, man, they saying that he got the girl and like bent her over backwards and was like, "Hope you like anal sex," and she didn't say nothing. He was like, he just went for it, dog. He just made it happen.
She didn't say no.
He just made it happen, and so and she was like, "Well, he was Matt Lauer, and and I thought we were happy, because Matt Lauer came out and said, "Yo, I didn't force nobody to do nothing.
Right.
It was all I was having affairs, and it was all consensual. And by the way, I was quiet, trying to keep everybody's life in order, even though mine is out of whack. But since these ladies have chosen to go a different route and start talking about my life, guess what? I'm gonna start telling all their stuff too." That came out today. So Matt Lauer's going to, man, he's going to, at some
Shout out
point,
to Matt Lauer,
at some point, he's going to come out and he's going to shut down every woman he ever had sex with.
Yeah, put him on blast. Put him on
Man.
blast. Like enough, man. Like, it's one thing, man, for if somebody was raped and some things happen, like, okay, like that, we can all agree, like, that's messed up, that shouldn't happen.
Right. Rape is bad. We don't, yeah.
It's bad. But if we're flirting and you don't, and you're a part of it, whether he's an authority figure or not, but you're engaging in it, then it's all consensual.
Well, he obviously lost his job immediately when they went to
the thing, the whole locking him in the room thing.
Right, that's bad.
That's bad.
Because I mean, I guess today it came out that he was exposed himself to one woman. Guess what they do though? They laugh and he's like, yeah, put your penis away. We don't want to do that. He's like, hey, what do you think about this? They like, it's okay, and they don't say nothing. Like, so for years and years and years, they didn't say anything. Then finally, somebody said something to, is it Connie Chung? I think it was Connie Chung. And so Connie Chung went to the brass and said, hey, I ain't saying nothing, but y'all need to keep your eye on Matt Lauer. That's all I'm saying. She didn't even rat him out. You know what I mean? They got a little club in there. She didn't rat him out, but then I guess the more and more it happened, then finally somebody ratted him out. And so, I mean, could you imagine, like, if all of a sudden Run was doing something and she's off our show and then we got a report on it? That's what's happening to everybody on the Today Show, NBC, and all that. They like, I'm sure everybody looking at Al like, that was your boy. You had to know something, Big Al.
Yeah, but
Al's like, well, man, my heart goes out to all those women. He don't even question Matt Lauer stuff.
My thing is,
because Matt was like, hey, Al, guess what I did today?
and he was like, man, I had the same thing.
No, I don't. You know what?
Point to another
I
one,
think
Al.
Al's pretty wholesome.
Al's a brother, and he was overweight. He wasn't getting no extracurricular activity.
He out there doing the
He's
thing.
in New York getting paid.
He
He attracts some bad side pieces.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Al, we believe in you, man. And by the way, sometime in the morning when I'm getting a picture of doing something, I look like you. So shout out, man. All I want to say is, and how's everything out of your window?
That's funny. But I think the times was different back then. I think that was
This is last year when Sochi was, what, 4 years ago?
No,
8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago. I think
6 years
that's
ago,
before the woke period. You got to think, man, in the 80s, 90s,
5 years
2000s.
All that was happening.
All that was happening. That's where the casting couch came from.
Sochi was 14.
I'll look it up.
You got these women get mad saying that to get roles, they had to make certain weight to get roles, or they'll come in and say they're too fat for roles. I'm like, why is it a problem?
2014.
Ron, can you tell me why is it a problem for if you're a director and an actress come in and they feel that she's too fat for a part?
Yeah, because I think as a society we deal with negative body images, and so then, especially as a person who is not famous, then you have this unrealistic ideal to live up to, because that's the definition of beautiful. Have you ever Googled just beautiful women to see how society defines that?
But
you should.
Are there women who, I guess, have self-esteem that's low enough that they put themselves in position in order to get the parts? I mean, because I think that they've
otherwise
got to
the
play
men
some
wouldn't
role
act
in
like
this
that
too.
if that wasn't the
Let me ask
case.
you a question.
I mean, it can't be the man 100% of the time. He's going to draw some sort of attention to him for who he is and what he can get you to.
So no one talks about when 300, what all the men had to go through to put their bodies in shape to play a role in the movie. Why is that not an issue? They had to lose weight, get muscular, take steroids, all that kind of stuff to get their body in shape to play a role in the movie. Or when Christian Bale loses, I don't know, what's the one guy? Dallas something club when he was the AIDS patient. He was like 80 pounds. He does all the Lincoln commercials.
You just gave two examples.
What's his name? He's a big football fan.
Yeah,
Texas,
USC. Yeah,
big Texas football fan.
Yeah. But yeah, he lost all that.
You know who it is.
The Dallas Buyers Club was the movie.
Howdy ho. Howdy ho, everybody.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
He lost all that weight to play a role in the movie.
If you would have said, all right, I would have gotten there.
But he had to lose
I
all
was
that weight
looking
to
for
play
that.
a role in the movie.
That one I would have got there.
By the way, I was looking for all right,
exactly
all right.
who you were talking
but what
about.
came out was Heidi Ho.
Why do you know all right?
That was very cornbread of you.
Hold on. I have a question, Moose. I feel like maybe I'm concerned about you now.
What's that?
How come you know that in Magic Mike, Matthew McConaughey says, all right.
I've never seen
Why do you
Magic
know
Mike
that?
in my entire life, but what I do know
The
is
second one
that-
is garbage.
But here's the fact of the matter is that I pay attention to a lot of things, right? And so even though there's a lot of movies I've never seen, but I know like a clip or a thing that some person's known for.
Okay.
Don't ever call me into question when you think I've
But
seen
Rob,
something
but
like that.
my question to you is why is that it's
Jeezy,
okay
you
for
gave 2 examples.
Magic Mike? Every movie that's made, men had to get in exquisite shape to play these movies. Like there's a reason why action heroes have to look like an action hero.
You're telling me that there has...
The Avengers, you think the Avengers, all them guys, you think Thor, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like he gotta be in shape to get Thor. Like you can't be out of shape and be Thor. Dog.
That's not true.
I'm just saying.
Fat Thor is real.
He was not Fat Thor. He wore a bodysuit. to be
Some
Fat Thor.
women go to Hollywood and don't mind being put on the couch diet. Some of them
Did you say
going
the couch
there,
diet?
Some of them go. I mean, hey,
That is what he said.
I mean, in some cases, the
Is
couch.
that a diet that you want to be on?
Well,
Depends on what couch you're on.
it depends on what couch you're on.
All right, I'm cool with you. I'm
For a
clear.
role in the movie?
I'm
I mean,
clear
like,
on this.
I prefer 0 diets. That's just me.
It's part of the
I'm
game,
way
man.
too stubborn for that kind of nonsense.
It's part of the game to me.
Well, that's why I'm not in that game.
But
Hey, folks,
I be
Heather's
throwing fits
radio
and
show.
fighting people.
Right, it still
No.
happened since Harvey Weinstein.
For sure, it's still happening.
what's
For
wrong?
sure,
You
it's
want,
still
you want
happening.
that role? And a lot of women go in and saying, like, look, I'll do whatever it takes to get this role. Oh, yeah? So they know that role going to pay them so many millions of dollars and so much fame. Like, yeah, I'll do that for that part of the movie.
And plus, these days when it keeps on playing on these streaming services, you get paid forever and ever and ever.
That's one of them. You get paid. It's competition.
Hey, folks, listen to Heather's radio show, man. We're having a great show. Earlier, there's about 9 minutes of a really quiet show, so you got to be in a quiet place and turn your speakers all the way up, and you're gonna hear Moose have some sort of conniption. Then after that, the power shut
That's
down
true.
because we out here frying chicken
And fish.
chicken and fish, man. We out
I
here
just feel
kinda
like this
doing
is so stereotypical.
It's called
I
black
love
privilege.
it. What?
it. So,
It's called black privilege.
so
Right,
there's,
spelled
there's,
wrong.
There's napkins. Hey, so
We don't need
the
no
show-
stinking
The
napkin.
show is called Black Privilege around here, folks. All right, Jeezy, talk to me.
Yeah, so what I want to ask y'all, I'm going to go around the room. The reason why I call the show Black Privilege is I want to know, do y'all think there is a such thing as black privilege? Do you think that there are privileges? Do we have certain privileges for being just because you're black? That they're afforded to you just because you're black? The other cultures couldn't get away with, but you can because you're black.
Yes. Yeah, I think other cultures couldn't get away with saying the N-word.
I mean, amongst ourselves, there could be
No,
black
no,
privilege,
it's done.
but from a greater society standpoint,
No, okay.
I'm not convinced.
No, you're not convinced about your run.
I don't think so.
Black privilege. Yeah, there's certain things you could say in a crowd.
Yeah, but does it advance you? That's the definition
Absolutely.
of privilege.
There's
That
no power
that
in
it
it.
comes innately with what you look like, and that it helps you advance. Being able to say the N-word
Because
does
it's
not
privilege?
advance you in the world. Yes.
Privilege says you can just do it, and you can do it when you do it. It's privilege. I mean, it's not. Privilege doesn't have to make you money or give you fame or give you advancement. It's just that you can say it. You can be comfortable saying it. You know what? Because you can have 80-year-old privilege. 80-year-old person can say whatever they want to say, and everybody's like, you know?
I do.
I
Yeah.
believe, see, as far as for me, I believe there are certain privileges to being black.
Like what?
Oh, y'all waiting to hear these, huh? Well, number one, I feel like if you're a black guy, you automatically labeled cool, even though you may not be cool. If you're around a bunch of other pilgrims, you're automatically the cool guy, even though you may not be cool. So people tend to do more things for you. If you're one of the few in a room, people tend to do more for you just because you're black. You're the black guy in the room. Or black women seem to, she brought up advancement. Black women seem to advance further in corporate America than black men do. That would be a black privilege for them because
But
black
they still
women
get paid
take
so
care
much
of
less.
two, not one.
You know why though?
because they don't take care of one, but take care of two.
Exactly.
Take care of two of the minorities, a woman and a black person.
Exactly.
So they advance. So there's a privilege to that. So, and not to mention, overall, just being the cool factor.
You already said that one.
Yeah, but being cool, being in society and culture, entertainment, you automatically, just because if it's black, it's automatically cool, no matter what.
Hey man, hold on a second. Are you trying to say it's like a step and fetch it type of situation?
No, but you entertain, but
shaking over head balls.
But we don't talk like that.
All I'm saying is just be careful where you at, Jizzy. I got nothing
But
love for you.
What I'm saying, entertainment, like that's the way we run. I was using running as an example. You're saying advancement. That just because if it's something that black people are doing, it is considered cool and it can advance you. Whatever we create the culture, black people do. Like we are the culture. If you look at black people in the '90s, what was we doing to our cars? Putting big rims on them, putting TVs in them. Now you can't find a truck today that don't come standard with a TV and 20-inch rims on it.
True.
Who started that? We did. We are the ones that set up the culture for everything.
So what's the privilege in that?
What do you mean? What's the privilege in that?
I'm with D-Law on this one.
We are the one.
I mean,
but
because
y'all looking at everything.
Then they invested in it and made it a
Well,
standard.
the thing is, we are the
benefit.
ones that setting the culture. And there are plenty of black people that are benefiting from.
But are we benefiting?
Yeah,
if you're talking about black privilege, there can't just be some of us. We have to be benefiting.
Hold on, what you
from
mean?
It.
What you mean? You can't be some of us? Some black people will benefit more than others will.
So I mean, but white privilege isn't reduced to just on a large scale. Some white people, because being white in this country, you automatically
all white
get
people don't
some
benefit from
different
being white in this country.
In,
I don't
in
see
different
why we keep
ways.
saying
They
that,
absolutely do.
No, not all
Yes,
white people
they
don't
do.
benefit from being white in this country. I refuse. I don't know why we keep saying like
from a.
I don't know if we does, but that's how I feel.
Police,
about
like from a.
But we always that's the first thing we always bring up police
because
court. If you
look how
social
much law
aspect.
enforcement impacts the black community.
say what?
Look how much law enforcement impacts the black community.
On what level?
What do you mean on what
On
level?
what level? Like
I mean,
are you saying
from crime
from a daily-
statistics.
The amount that they are,
policed,
the amount
from
that
being over
black
policed,
neighborhoods
from
are policed.
traffic
Yes.
stops. I mean, hell, I mean, at some point in time, we're going to talk about this Dallas stuff. I mean, a woman just got killed in her home because her front door was open. Where was the privilege in that? You can't say that there.
Well, again,
there aren't some.
I've heard the whole story. Now, granted, it's 100% wrong that she got shot in her house. 100% wrong. Let me say that right now. However, there was a black man that called the 911 call. I heard the call.
Because her door
was open all night, and he was worried about what was going on, and nobody was in the house. So then what happened was the cops came to the house and we had the flashlight looking around the house to see why was this front door, what was going on. She was in the house playing a video game and grabbed a gun from her purse because her son said that somebody's in the back of the house.
She sees
too.
flashlights in the backyard.
So she grabs her gun.
Right, I would too.
So when she grabs the gun, she goes to the back of the house with the gun in her hand, and the cop shoots through the window and kills her.
Did she not deserve the right to have had the officer read out a command and identify himself?
But see, this is what we're not doing. This is what we don't do. We're asking a cop.
Why do we have to ask them? Because it feels like we're cutting them in half.
See, D-Lo, if you don't know how they are trained, see, we always get mad at what they do, but we got to ask
how
are they trained? So if they're trained to shoot first, ask questions later.
They're not trained to do that. They're not.
I can pull up several videos to show they are military trained.
They are not trained to shoot first and ask questions later. They are trained to have a presence. That's why every time they walk up and they just uniform, the car, that's typically the first sign. What it's called. It's called force continuum, if you really want to know.
Okay.
So force continuum is presence. I'm in my car. I got my uniform on, and I'm having a presence. The second thing is they take control of the situation. How's it going? We're the Yorktown local police department. We heard a disturbance. Blah blah blah. So even if I'm in the backyard and I got my flashlight and I look through the window and I see somebody in there
with a weapon,
the first thing I'm gonna say is stop, police.
In your own house where you're allowed
Stop
to have
police.
one.
But
I'm gonna take cover. I'm gonna take cover and I'm gonna say stop, police.
Exactly.
That's the first thing that should happen. The next thing that happens is I need you to put the weapon down. I need you to come out.
Again, I'm not excusing
Put
what
the
happened.
weapon down,
I'm not
walk
excusing what
slowly
happened.
towards me.
However,
With your hands up.
I'm not excusing
With
what
your
happened.
hands
What I'm
up.
saying is Okay, so you get a call to a house that could be getting burglarized. You don't know what's going on. You don't know. You get a call, so you go in there, and through the window you see a weapon in somebody's hand, in the weapon.
That doesn't automatically make them a threat. You still have to read
a threat. They got a
read
weapon.
out
What are you talking about? That makes
commands.
them a threat.
I mean, if
unfortunately, when you're training, you got to make your presence known. Stop police! I need you to.
I'm gonna
You
see
have
all
to,
y'all videos.
because
What you talking about is completely different than what the videos I saw how cops are trained.
You also watch videos about how the
I
Earth
was
is
there.
flat.
Like I mean, I was there. Like I
We
seen it. I was-
debunked that last week, Ron. So you bring up old news all you want.
I'm just saying that you like to watch videos that may or may not be true.
That is not true. But the thing is, you can't prove you can't prove the Earth is round no more than I can. You can it's flat. You don't know. You have not.
All I'm
personally
saying is
went
the
around.
videos that you like to watch
But
may
you
or may
can't-
not
but
be
you
true.
Can't prove it you can't prove it the other way, can you?
Hey, so I tell you what, I mean, you know what? I don't think we'll ever get to an end of this thing. I just know that Jeezy has his opinion, and luckily for you, Jeezy, there's gonna be enough crime and all that for you to say, see, I told you that it wasn't like that, and I mean that's kind of how it goes, and that's
I'm
okay.
talking about there's privileges of being black.
Yeah.
I believe that there are certain privileges of being
because
black.
you know what, our muscles are longer, so we got fast twitch muscles, so we can be running backs in the NFL. Our voices are a little clearer, so
and we
can
automatically
hit
get
that
to be the
note.
cool guy.
We can hit that note and be the cool guy. So far, that's what you said.
You
I
also
don't feel
set
like I'm
trends
tapped
that other
into-
people capitalize on.
That's right. That's a big one.
And we spend extra money on our cars and vehicles, kind of souping them up. And then what happens is the mainstream says, "Oh, we like that," and then they start building the
So
cars. Like
y'all
we
don't
soup
agree
them
that black people are the number one leaders in producing culture in the world.
We don't make the money off it. We don't capitalize
But how
off
is
of it.
that?
I believe we spend the money to make the culture, but we don't make it.
So
So are we trendsetters? No, I think what happens is we go out and we spend the money. You know, one thing I can't stand is people trying to be too fancy.
So Michael Jordan don't benefit none of that for all the shoes, the culture he created.
Michael Jordan's in a whole different stratosphere than most
that's
people in the
black
United
privilege.
States.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
Michael
saying
Jordan
that
is in
all
the
black
top-
people- I'm not-
Who else
I'm not speaking
benefit?
in terms of
Who else benefits from the number of shoes that Michael Jordan has sold?
every athlete that came behind him has benefited from everything that Michael Jordan. It's a list of people that has benefited from the plight of
I'm
other
with you.
athletes
You know what?
before them.
I'm with you. So all right. So
So
wait,
Michael's-
hold
Yeah,
on,
sorry.
Jesus. That takes care of 1% of the population that play basketball.
But that's-
What about the rest
Oh
of
my
them?
God! What I'm saying is this: is one generation sets the tone for the next generation. So by Michael Jordan and the standard and also that he set,
That's 1%. Tell
that's
me about the
1%,
rest
but
of
it
them.
trickles down to like, okay, now all of a sudden, because of Michael Jordan was able to do this and he did this way or whatever, it allows other people that's not athletes, because people see Michael Jordan in a positive light, now all of a sudden they're able to move forward because of the things that he did and the foundation that he laid for black people in general.
All right, so I got something for you, man. This is, as a matter of fact, Ron, you can look it up while I'm saying it. You realize that even poverty level in the United States is like the top, I want to say top 3%, but it could be the top 5% of money earners in the world. So we're talking about poverty level in the United States, which I believe now still is, if you're a single person and you're making like 19 grand, you know, you can kind of live, but that's poverty level. If you're making under 19 grand. That is top 3% of the world in money earning potential.
Right.
So it's still not touching the masses. It's still not making sense that folks have some sort of privilege. You might have a privilege in your community. Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, people like that. But again, you're talking about 1% of the populace. Not even people like us. Not even people like us.
I just look at. I think about when you say that we're saying, we make it seem like that all white people without money. So we talking about white folks on Raymond Avenue, live off Raymond and English Avenue. All them people has better lives than you, I, Dila, all of us.
Guess what?
Because simply just because they white.
They have.
I do not agree with that.
They have
I do not
more.
agree with
They
that.
have more opportunity. They're not getting stopped. They're not getting stopped. DWB. Because they're not DW.
But they get pulled over. They get pulled
So
over just the same.
once again, that's
No,
that's
not just
already
the
a
same.
privilege. That's already a privilege. Where if they're not getting pulled over DWB, that's already
So
already
I'll put
extra.
The story, making of a murder. That's about to say that was white. He's a white guy. But I know what Rungo said. It's just one guy. But no, there's plenty of white guys, plenty of white men, plenty of white people in general that get harassed by the police, man.
Hey, man, you know
I'm
what?
not saying it doesn't happen.
It does at a very large, at a very high rate. It happens.
Compared to
There was a white kid that left a hotel room. The guy mowed down with the cop like, stand up, sit down, and got mowed down. He was a white dude.
yeah, that was a bad situation.
No, them cops didn't go to jail. They didn't go to jail. What I'm saying is that yes, with black people it happens a lot more because of the size for the population of us in the country. Yes, it happens to us at a higher rate. But to sit here and say that it never happens to them, or they don't, or they never get in trouble, or they scared on everything, is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous stance to take. And I don't think that white people on Raymond Avenue or living in wherever the hell they live in the country, whatever, lives better than I do.
You know what?
No chance in hell I believe that.
I would love to see some demographics and statistics where the people on Raymond Avenue rate compared to African American folks who live in similar neighborhoods, and what their crime sentencing is. Because if they're getting charged with about the same rate, I'd be curious to know if their sentences are just as equal.
It sounds like we got homework. And by the way, I want to put out there too that for sure their sentences are different. For sure they're getting more prosecuted. For sure they're spending more time in jail. I mean, and I know you don't want to talk about this, but I mean, we just saw this police officer kill this man in his own crib and she got 10 years. And then we saw another guy that, true enough, I thought about it. It might be his third strike, right? But he got 50 years for his third strike, and his third strike was having like a pound of weed or something. I mean, come on, man. It's not the same. It's not the same. If you got another guy that commits capital murder, right, it's going to be a different sentence than it is for. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a police officer, I understand. You're in a different fraternity, and I get that, and I'm okay with that. If you make a certain amount of money, you're in a different fraternity, right? I get that. If you live in a certain area, you're in a different fraternity a lot of times once they get to know you. Once they get to know you in a different fraternity.
I think what I'm saying is I think a lot of what we say is privilege or this is more socioeconomic, how much money you got versus the color of your skin.
You don't feel like the color of your skin and how much money you make go hand in hand? You don't feel like there's a connection there?
How so? I mean, what do you mean? Like as far as the job goes?
We've had this conversation 100 times. No. I'm saying that the national average is that black people.
But okay. Here's the question. When you say the national average, you're taking the averages is from everybody. So clearly, there's more impoverished black people. So that average number is going to be way lower because there's more at the bottom.
It will break it down by degree. Hold on.
So if you're saying the national average of wages amongst black people, of course there's more uneducated black folks. So therefore, their pay rate will be way less than that.
What's the reason there's more uneducated black folks and there's less black folks?
I mean, we're 100 years behind. We're 500 years behind.
For what reason?
Because we know
so
the
sorry,
reasons.
is this not
slavery
privilege we're talking about?
And that's you've answered every question that you have.
I'm not saying that there aren't advantages that white people have ahead of us. I'm not saying that. That's stupid to say that. Clearly, there's advantages that they have because the system, the things that set up are set up and designed with their I can't think of the word.
Belief structure.
With their
but where's
values
the black
and ways
privilege
in mind.
in that?
Everything is designed for what they have set forward. It's designed for them because they just want to design the system. We didn't design the system. We didn't make it.
And my black privilege gets to be I'm cool. I'm still not buying this, Jesus.
No, you hung on one thing. You worse than a woman with that one. Just hung on one word. I said 50 things, and you just hung on the fact I said
none
cool.
of them really sounded like privilege to me, man. That was the only thing I could take away as far as where I've benefited is I get to be the cool guy in the room.
You be the cool guy in the room, dog, to keep your ass out of trouble. You're the cool guy.
I don't know about that, folks. Listen to Heavy Ears Radio Show, and guess what? We love El Jeezy and Baku, man. And we love we love the way he thinks, man. And we definitely appreciate you, man. I
just don't agree that you can sit here and say when you run and say, well, because you're black, you make less than any job that I've taken, I've made the same as everybody else. So
I mean, you like Tommy though. We don't really know what you even do for a living.
I make the same as everybody else. And if you don't like what you're getting paid, then do something else, man. It's really that simple. If you don't like what you did, do
What
something
if
else.
you can't?
What you mean you can't?
What if you don't have transportation to get there? What if you don't have the clothes to go to an interview?
Look here. I came from one of the worst places in Indiana.
Man, no, not the worst. You came from the worst place in the country.
I came from the worst place in the fucking country. Sorry.
Hey, by the way, I want to say this. I saw where they had the saddest places in the United States. Indiana, where we do the show from, had 4, and Gary was number 1.
Number 1. I'm from the saddest place in the world, yo. That's
in the
where
world.
I'm from.
Well, not in the world, buddy.
In the country.
Everybody from Gary is still richer than a lot of other countries. Yeah.
So I'm from one of the saddest places in the country. In the country. And here I sit today. Me and a lot of a whole bunch of my other friends, which Moose, you met a lot of my friends. And they all set up guys, man.
What would have happened if you wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to college?
I still would have made it out.
Your life would look just like this today?
Yeah, it would. Because it's what's in me. It's what was instilled from my parents.
And your parents.
My parents. And also it's my belief
By the
system.
way, I love you, but you come from a household that's intact.
Yeah, but a lot of my
your
friends.
Your mom and your dad live together. They
Friends,
still together.
But my friends came from
still living.
A lot of my friends came from a situation where it wasn't intact. And they in situations today that's better for them. So I got friends from every side, from every walk of the.
Now, is that because you all shared similar belief systems and were similar in nature? I mean, because there's a lot of people from Gary who don't share that success story.
You
right. A lot, so they're not benefiting from the same privilege that you seem to have identified as us being privileged by.
But you know what? At some point, you have to either A, learn to stop playing the victim and take control of your life, or B, you just hold on to this shit. I chose not to play the victim. I chose to move forward. I chose to move forward with my life. I chose to not make excuses. If I don't have something in my life, I don't have something. It's because of something that I did. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't get a job, it's because I didn't get a degree. If I didn't, whatever I don't have in life is because something that I did that prevented me from doing it, not because some overarching man standing over top of me holding me down. I don't believe it. I never have believed it.
I mean, but that's the problem with the criminal justice system right there. I mean, for example, let's say you're 18 years old and Gary, you're walking around with 3 joints. You get busted. You get put in the system. Depending on what they want to take the charge to, they could apply a felony to you. Now you're 18 and you're not hireable because you had 3 joints on you.
Yeah, but D-Lo, the thing is, if
so I mean, you can't just say, okay, well, if you're not happy with your job, change your job. Because there's levels of impact, man, and I'm sorry, man, but we've been disproportionately held back because.
Why are you sorry?
Pride.
Why are you sorry about having a conversation with this guy? No, because it ain't even. Hold on, it ain't even about being sorry, Jeezy. It's the fact that generationally, the wealth is different. Their opportunities are different because at some point, the black folks were held back. They were held down. They were held.
Yes.
And so, generationally. Did I say it right?
Generationally?
Generationally. Man, what's the matter with me tonight? And so, here's what happens. As they start to change, you know what? It might get better. So, for you, your parents stayed together. And so your outlook is different. Your belief structure is different. Your thing is different. And guess what? Maybe your parents were strong enough to keep 2 or 3 of your boys together. Your boys saw your parents and a few other parents and Gary staying together. And really using Gary is different because some of the folks that got into the system and worked in those in the plants and all that kind of stuff, man, they were decent money. They were making decent money. And so it's different, and it goes back to what you said about being the socioeconomic status. Yes, there are pilgrims in this world that generationally have been poor, and they stay poor, right? But the opportunities they have because of sometimes where they live, sometimes because of society. So society says, "Hey, man, I really like you. You know, let's go forward."
Does that happen for black people?
Much more rarely, or more rarely than normal. For sure, it does.
I think it happens. I think in life in general, everything is about timing, and it's about who you know. So either A, I can put myself in position. To
But
know
if
the
you
way
never got in a position to do it, so if you were in
that's
school,
what anybody moves.
But
If anybody,
if your parents are didn't go to school and they didn't push school, so you didn't go to school either. You weren't interested in it. All that has a factor for sure.
yes, but what I'm saying is like opportunity don't just fall from the sky for people, for nobody on this planet. Nobody. You have to at some point. You have to take control of your life.
Somebody lights the fire.
You have to. It's either you do it or you don't. Period. That's for everybody across the board. Now, granted, I will say that, okay, for them, if they decide to get on the right track, then the path is still hard, but they have advantages because people in control are comfortable with people that look like them. So most people in power are comfortable with people who look like them. Like I completely agree with that. But at the same time, to say that we don't get no advantages, we have no effort. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
These days we do only because we're so far removed. We're so far removed from it that there's people that may, you got. If I go on your structure, you got P. Diddy is helping some people, and you got Magic Johnson is helping some people, and you got Michael Jordan that kind of thinks about people every now and again. So, there's a few people here and there that you think about. Ron, what you got?
I would like to go back to the numbers that I promised you earlier. So, according to Forbes, for every $100 in white family wealth, black families hold $5.04.
What?
And then, according to Forbes, for every $100 a white family holds in wealth, a black family holds $5.04. I'm not done. And then, if you are one white person with a bachelor's degree, the average income nationwide in 2016 was almost $400,000. For a black person, $68,000. For the same level of education.
You done? Can I talk now?
Yes, you may speak.
Now, to the 100 to $5 ratio. Okay, again, number one.
It just said in wealth, Jeezy. It didn't say like in your personal bank account.
And wealth. There are more wealthier white people than there are.
How come?
I said that.
This is what I'm saying, though. Like, it does
that.
exist. So, so white privilege
She's
does
got him on the
exist.
No, you didn't get me because I already said that.
But you still don't think it exists.
Who created the country? So obviously, a lot of the structure, a lot of the wealth is going to be on with them.
So systematic racism is a thing.
We're talking about the black
privilege. Listen. I'm saying this. So for you to sit here and say there's a million white billionaires, millionaires, there's a whole bunch of them. There's not many black millionaires that are treated. So obviously, and then the numbers are going to be way skewed because there are more wealthier white people than there are black people. And then the second thing I just said, to go to your bachelor's degree argument, what I said is that, number one, people are more comfortable with people who look like them. So a lot of these people who go into these schools, who get these degrees, they have jobs already laid out for them because their father knows somebody, because the connection, they're already connected. We're
like
not
privilege
connected
to
like
me.
that.
Well, that sounds like white privilege
No,
to me,
but-
Jeezy.
But you this is something
I
I
love when he
already
gets
know.
so
What I'm saying
angry.
is that I'm
This
not.
is stuff we already know, but he says white privilege doesn't exist. Man, I love this.
But we're not
Keep
talking
going.
about white privilege.
Keep
We're talking
going.
about the privilege of being black.
Yes, I think there is a privilege of being black. I enjoy being black.
Trendsetters.
I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't
You
trade
guys
for
are the
nothing else.
coolest people I
And
know.
you know what? And you're a cool
I
cat.
wouldn't trade. I wouldn't trade for
appreciate
y'all.
it.
Y'all, I would not change nothing about me. So what I'm saying is that there are more white millionaires and billionaires than there are black millionaires and billionaires.
I will
Way
give you that,
more.
but I think
Way
when we
more.
compare,
so use those numbers take account of everything. So of course,
not what. Here's the thing: when we're just comparing the same education level, I think that really says something.
That doesn't say nothing to me because what it says to me is that these people have
because most
more
billionaires have a
connections.
bachelor's degree.
It don't tell you what degree they got it in. It don't tell you what degree. It don't tell you who they knew. There's more factors saying this bachelor's degree is this. It don't tell you that. What are the degrees in? Are we saying? 'Cause I know one thing, to be a cop, if a bachelor's degree you make $35,000 with a degree, no matter who you are. To be a police officer in IMPD, you start off at $35,000 with a degree. Without a degree, it's $31,000. IMPD with a bachelor's degree, $31. With a degree, $35. across the board. It don't say well if you're a colored person, it's at 32.
Whoa,
And
we're
then
using the
if
word
if
color?
If you're a
What is
pilgrim, it's 35.
happening?
It don't say that.
Are we?
1945?
What's
I was gonna
happening?
say, are we-
I think I'm uncomfortable.
Are we back?
Yeah. No,
Are
I'm
we
saying
back
no,
in
it
the
don't say
40s?
that.
LGZ
You know what I mean?
MAGA.
But if you go
Said the color.
if you go to the private sector, then then obviously somebody knew you to get into that job, or you knew somebody. If you're going to be a doctor, there are more pilgrim doctors, there are more pilgrim lawyers. So of course those numbers are going to be skewed for that degree.
I got a question
That's
for
ridiculous.
you. I got a question for you. All right, so Donald Trump is a billionaire, right?
His dad gave him $2 million to start off with.
To start off with, right? Who has the same amount of money as him? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has the same amount of money as Trump, right?
So his kids won't want for nothing.
Jay-Z has the same amount of money as him?
The kids won't want for nothing. Their kids will have,
No,
the
no,
same
no,
advantage.
no. I'm not talking about their kids. How did Donald Trump get started?
His dad gave him the money.
How did Michael Jordan get started?
You had to play basketball. Yeah.
How did Jay-Z get started?
Has a rap. Yeah,
I'm sorry. One more. I got you. One more question. How did Donald Trump get started?
his dad gave him that money.
How did Michael Jordan get started?
Exactly.
Huh?
So,
I'm sorry. What?
He had to work that.
I got a question. How did John H. Johnson? You went to Central State. How did John H. Johnson get started? You didn't read the book. You didn't. Yeah, you didn't do
Shocking.
nothing in freshman orientation, did you?
Right.
Orientation. So John H. Johnson was at Reynolds or something. Yeah, he Ebony Magazine, all that kind of stuff. How did they get started?
I don't know.
It wasn't a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout. No.
It wasn't a handout.
So Michael Jordan. So in 20
And
years.
so my point.
You ask him 20 years. Well, how did Jeffrey Jordan get his money? Oh, his dad gave it to his dad. Set him up nicely.
Generationally, Michael
His dad set him up.
Jordan has put his
when Bronny gets grown, how did you get started? Oh, my dad. So
generationally, these guys have put him in position. Donald Trump is 70, two? So he was set up. He was set up 50 years ago, right?
50 years ago. So 50 years from now, all the people that
50
came
years
forward-
ago, there was. I don't think you can name. Who's old girl that made the combs? Madam C.J. Walker. So you got Madam C.J. Walker that made the combs that made it happen. But other than that, there's not one person handing them money to get them started.
I agree with you. I'm not even disagreeing with that.
All right.
What I'm saying is today, moving from right now, I'm not talking about what happened in the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 80s. I'm not talking about that.
But
You were talking about coloreds.
that's why
No, that's
you did say colors. Hey,
Moving forward right now, in the age of the internet, which I said 3 weeks ago, in the age of the internet, there is absolutely no excuse for nobody to be behind on anything in the age of the internet. There's no excuse.
Unless you don't have internet at
Whose
home
fault is that?
or,
if you don't have the
or a
internet,
device.
Then you are in a sad situation.
Right, so how do you get out of it?
There are people in the country who don't have that, who don't have fast internet, who don't have no internet because companies won't even go out there.
There are people in the city who don't have a device to access the
Hey,
internet.
speaking of, somebody asked me today. They told me I should get Cricket Mobile on my phone. Is that a pretty good phone service?
I would never get it.
It's cheap.
As they said, it's like you get 5 lines for like $100 or something.
It's probably great for the kids.
Cricket Mobile.
You get what you pay for. When your phone be dropping, get no service, people be listening in.
You know. He said, man, I was in Jamaica and my phone worked. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
How much did that cost?
Are you trying to flex me? I think he's trying to flex me. Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. I tell you what, we're getting into it. The name of the show is called Black Privilege. We're going to talk about it. Again, I don't think anybody ever asked my questions about Three's Company. I want to talk about Three's Company. Nobody was interested in that. And by the way, there was only one brother on Happy Days, Sticks. Does anybody know? For
I only
Did he
know the
play the
fonts.
bongos?
for a piece of chicken. Does anybody know
For
what
a piece
Sticks?
of chicken.
Does anybody know what Sticks did? Does anybody know what Sticks did after he left the Fonz in there?
Porn.
He did. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He
Seemed
left.
like
He
a
left acting.
good
and he
guess.
He became
win.
a great porn actor. Man.
Sweet. I'm
Sticks.
glad he won.
Did he win though?
Hey, it sounded like he ended up with a.
He had a
Pretty
few.
nice
He had a few good times. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the guys are rich. None of them. Like none of them are chilling with Jordan.
True.
You know, none of them are chilling with Jordan. All right,
know,
so
but there are some porn stars that have done well for themselves and have managed
men,
some money. And,
not women, men, right?
I mean, there's still men out there who have started their own porn companies and what have you. So,
right, they own it, not the ones that are performing, right?
right, for sure.
All right, I'll give you that. All right, so guys, Heaviest Radio Show, you listen, man. This is Moose, a.k.a. Big House. We got one of my favorite songs of all time playing in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that, man. We got LGZ and Baku, man. He's in here, man, giving his opinion, which we absolutely love.
Ones.
Yes, yeah, I'm not saying that. And then to my left, man, we have, I tell you what, the owner of Long Green Studios,
Yes.
man. Yeah,
What's happening?
we're up in here doing our thing. And then, man, the lady of the show came in and she brought some potato salad, man, to the show, man.
Pudding about potato salad.
Yep, that's what I do. 3 types.
Shout out to Ron E.
MC.
Hey, so you got some Run That News for us?
I already did all of the Run That
you have
News.
nothing
I
else.
ran all the news already early.
What the
You guys
heck?
made me run that news as soon as I got here.
So have you guys
All of
heard
it.
about? Have you guys heard about what's going on with the Kurds and the president and all that? You guys
Man,
don't
it's
watch
The Kurds in
complete
way.
mess.
Yes.
Absolute mess. So here's what's going down. So Trump a few weeks back said, "Hey, you know what? We have very few troops over there. We are pulling out. Right? We're pulling out of where they were." And so at that point they pull out, and then people say that's not a good idea because as soon as they pull out,
Safety first.
what's going to? That's a good joke. What's going to happen is that the Turkish folks will move in and will probably bring Al Qaeda back. Guess what happened in the weeks coming up to that? Or weeks coming up to today? Well, there wasn't enough prison guards to keep the Al Qaeda guys in prison that they had in prison because they had to go fight.
Situation.
So now these guys are like overthrowing the guards and getting out of prison. And so the Kurdish government went to Turkey and was like, "Yo, we don't have any protection anymore. We need protection." So who they get with? They got with the closest people. They got with the Turkish folks now that are moving in there and kind of making it happen. I'm sure their coffee's amazing, right? And I'm sure their smoke's amazing. But now the Al Qaeda will start to come back, and then Run's president now is backpedaling, trying to keep people over there. But it's probably too late.
It's too late, and the Russians have already moved in.
Right, because the president was like, can anybody help me? Russia, China, anybody. I'll take anybody to help us. What do you guys think about that, if you do think about that at all? Jeezy, wait, tell me, man.
No, I mean, you know. What you got?
It's a complete mess. I mean, the president authorized this. I mean, it was a minimal operation in terms of military spending. We had minimal men on the ground there.
And it was mighty power, though,
and,
you know?
and there was a lot of power there. We got nothing out of this. We secured nothing. He evacuated out of the interest of other countries. We got nothing from this. I saw something somewhere that our troops are scrambling because there really isn't a spot for them to be safe because of all this military action that's moving in around them. You know what I mean? He certainly caused a risk to that area and the safety of our troops.
Yeah, I'm not really versed on the situation, man. So I don't.
I
I mean, from one point, you know, if he pulled the troops out and they came home, you know, I'm never against, you know, people can come home and see their families, you know, for any reason.
You know,
I'm not against that.
That's definitely a point. That's definitely a point.
You know what I mean? So, you know, but as far as what's going on over there, man, it's, you know, America's not the world police, man. Like, you know, we can't fight everybody's war, man. You know, I think we got enough issues at home that we need to focus on, man, and
Like the children that are locked in cages and the
Going
dirty
over
water
there.
in Flint, Michigan
I mean,
still.
that too, but
Yeah.
the fact is we betrayed our allies, and I think
Yes.
that makes us look
I mean,
Yes.
awfully weak,
Yes.
and that lowers
this-
our credibility
Yeah.
on the world stage.
yeah.
It was poor.
I think
We
it could-
secured nothing in this.
Yeah.
I think it could have some really negative consequences for the United States. I mean,
So I'm not
here's the
versed, so I
thing.
don't know.
This
Now,
completely
I don't know how
hurts
it's
our
said from the outside,
reputation.
I don't know.
well, and I mean,
This
if
is
you were
damaging.
counting on that help and then it just went away for no good reason, like, wouldn't you
It's a good reason.
probably?
People troops to come home is always a good
Wouldn't you
reason to me.
probably want to?
I'm sorry, I don't care what it is.
Potentially attack that country
You know what I'm
or
saying?
go to war with that
I'm
country
sorry.
or something. I mean,
Right.
I think that there will be a lot of
You
negative
can't say one for a
consequences.
good reason because anytime to ask those families was a good reason.
Ask the
Ask
soldiers.
shoot off the plane, and
Ask the
that
soldiers.
wife got to hug her husband when he got off that plane.
Ask the soldier.
You know what I'm saying? When he come home and see, fresh, all the food, everything, all the luxuries in this country. So I can't say it wasn't a good reason. Now, granted, would there be repercussions made? I don't know. I don't know nothing about the whole story, but anytime troops get to come home, I'm for it.
I guess, Jason, I can feel you on that. I just think that, if we're going to breathe life back into Al-Qaeda, if we're going to breathe life back into some of those extremist groups, in that part of the country, that's fine. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to create more business opportunities for folks. I mean, and then especially if you go ahead and break it off, and then backpedal and say, "Well, I didn't really mean it like that." I think we acted too hastily. It's going so now it'll create a business opportunity for folks, and that's okay. I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, the more folks that have PTSD and ODD and all that kind of stuff, it's going to create opportunities for everybody. It's going to create a lot of opportunities for people over in the United States as well.
Yeah, it's just like what's going on in China. The tweet that set that whole thing on fire.
So, yeah, I mean, I wish somebody could find that and read it because we definitely need to talk
Basically,
about
the tweet
that.
was Daryl Morey said, "I'm with Hong Kong."
He said, I'm sorry, what?
He said, "I'm with Hong Kong."
What was the paraphrase he wanted with Hong Kong?
That was a tweet. "I'm with Hong Kong," because basically Hong Kong
Yeah,
wants
it was
to
a
be
real
free.
basic tweet. Like, it
Yeah,
didn't really
but-
say much that would seem to be controversial in the United
Well,
States.
China
But
and Hong Kong.
it pissed everybody off in
Say
China.
it off.
What was going on is China and Hong Kong are like fighting. Hong Kong is, I guess, trying to separate from China, be his own independent. I'm not again. Go ahead.
It said, "Fight for freedom. Stand with Hong Kong."
That's all it says.
Yes, that's all it said on October 4th.
And man, all of a sudden they start ripping down the signs. Have they even played the game yet?
They played the games already.
Did
Now
they
mind
play
you, and so people got mad at LeBron because he said he wasn't educated on the situation. The people got mad at LeBron, but the point I think LeBron was saying was, first of all, you made a tweet when you ain't even over here. We here, so you put all of us at risk by you tweeting that while we here. We over here. You know what I mean? And you tweet that, so now all of a sudden we got to deal with that.
I mean,
You ain't here. You in Hawaii chilling with your team. We over here in the middle of all the stuff that's going on.
which is crazy.
And now you put us in a position that where we got to answer these questions that something that you tweeted you ain't even here for. He said, "Why? Well, you could have just waited a week to tweet that when we ain't there. We over here and tweet that."
So his timing was bad.
Timing was bad.
But I believe that LeBron said something today that everybody was mad
That's what it was
about.
bad about. Somebody was uneducated on the situation, and he said a whole bunch of something without nothing because
But like from what I understand, they went in the streets like the Liberation Army or
they
whatever it is
burning
over there.
jerseys and stuff.
Yeah, they was
They
going
already
crazy
paid for
over
it.
there.
They bought
You
it.
know what? I saw.
Yeah, if anybody burns a jersey, I'm like, cool. If somebody bought 10,000 heavy hitters jerseys
Sweet.
and they burned them,
We still have the money.
I'm cool. You go ahead and burn
Yeah,
it.
Sweet.
Matter of fact, call me because I'm gonna warm my
I
booty
hate
up to it.
And the thing is, when people get mad at LeBron, whatever, about he ain't saying that, I'm like, first of all, you're in China, so you can't just it's the law of the land. The law of the land in China is no free speech. So you can't say nothing while you're there. You can't say nothing. I'm in your country. Granted, I might be an American, but I don't have free speech in your country. So that's number one. Those are delicious, by the way.
They're really good. I think it's probably my new favorite cider.
Yeah, I did too. I think I might have
Yeah,
found one.
it's popular in the Long Green household.
But yeah, so I mean, so you don't have free speech in other countries. So then everybody's gonna say, well, LeBron is a social warrior for here in America. I said because he knows the issues in America. He don't know the issues over in China. He don't know. He don't sit around reading world politics. He don't know.
And that's the problem. I mean, there's a lot of world injustices, and they said there's concentration camps in China. And like I heard there's some real humanitarian issues in China that nobody speaks about. And Greg Doyle, a writer for the Indianapolis Star, or for the Indy Star, whatever it is nowadays, he said that the NBA, LeBron James, they're all weak for not backing Daryl Morey in his position because of the injustices going on in China. He said the message that this sends is that morals are nice, but dollars are more valuable.
Of course it is. $4 billion. $4 billion with a B. So I don't care what level you on. I'm not $4 billion. I'm not giving up $4 billion because I can't change it anyway. What am I going? What LeBron going to say? whatever he's gonna say is not gonna change one thing over in that country. In that country, it won't change nothing. So I'm cool with my $4 billion. Everybody around y'all, all the peons be mad and say what they gonna say, but you wouldn't do it either. The same way I told this dude, I said,
it's
the money.
Given the situation, it's the money and F the rest.
F the rest. Dog. So if you at your job, so let me ask you this: you at your job, and the owner of you just an employee at your job, and the owner gets caught beating and cheating on his wife. Are you gonna speak out about that? Even though you're strongly against women abuse and all that, will you say anything about that?
I don't know what goes on in my coworkers' houses.
I don't know. I'm saying the news come out that the owner of your company was beaten or cheating on his wife, or whatever, and you are strongly against all of that stuff. Are you gonna come out and say something about your owner of your company?
The owner of my company.
That pays your bills, that gives you employs you. You'll come out and say something against him?
Nah, did it impact the company?
I will tell you that I left my last job because the people that were in charge of it were very racist, and I was not on board with it, so I left.
Yeah, but did you speak out? Did you leave, or did you speak out?
When I left and had my exit interview, I happily told everyone that is why I left.
Yeah, but as you was leaving, so you didn't stay. So you didn't stay in this job and say what you had to say. You left and said it.
No, I said it before I left.
Yeah, but you was leaving though.
No. I told the people in charge before I left, and then when I did leave, I also told the people in charge of those people.
So you're one of a few. If I'm LeBron, but you also ain't making $4 billion.
I'm not making $4 billion, but if I can make $4 billion at that company, I can probably make $4 billion at another company.
Yeah, no, that is not how it works.
That's an interesting perspective.
I'm white, so I probably could.
Ron, you do not.
Because white privilege
in your
is
lifetime,
real.
you would not get anywhere close to $4 billion.
No way.
No matter what color you are.
I don't want to.
I can assure you would.
I don't want any part of that.
You being white makes no difference about that. I guarantee it. I for sure can guarantee that.
Okay.
Yeah. So unless you win the lottery or something, I don't know. But anyway, so I don't get why they're asking players to speak out on management issues. Is the point that I was making? Is that players? You got players. They're asking players to speak out on management issues, which makes no sense.
That was great off-screen entertainment. That was real comedy.
We're sitting right by each other, so we weren't sure what was happening right there. It's fine. It's normal. Welcome.
So basically, Daryl Morey is management.
So, yeah, and so LeBron today spoke out about that, and I think maybe this is what Moose wanted to hear, and he's not up here, so he can listen later. But today, LeBron James said, I don't want to get into a feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand when he spoke. So many people could have been harmed, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. Just be careful what we tweet, what we say, and what we do. Yes, we have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negatives that come with that as well. Sometimes social media is not always the proper way to go about things. Yeah. So that was in response
LeBron,
to management.
I don't support you on much, but I feel you on that. You ain't finna mess up my check. I ain't finna let you mess up my check because you over here running your mouth about things that don't concern you, man. And what's going on in China don't concern you, yo. Just as long as the check cash, man, I'm good. But what y'all do over there is y'all business, man. And for all y'all hypocrites around here saying that LeBron should speak out, I want you to do something for a second. I want you to pull off your shirt and check your tag, man. Everything in your house is from China. So while you're over here speaking all this rubbish, everything you get that's on discount for cheap is from China. And so some little kid that's 8 years old working 12 hours, 14 hours a day is making it.
So we can't just pick and choose what we're
speaking
out
You can't pick and choose what you speak out about. You can't pick and choose. Everything you get from Ali, from with the Ali, Fred, or Wish.
I think the greater argument is, should more of these companies address the humanitarian issue and stop doing business with China and cut them off?
The second they stop doing business with China is the second that all of a sudden your iPhone case goes from $3 to $85 because it had to be made in America, and American workers ain't working for that kind of money.
China's not the only country.
That's what I'm saying, but there's other countries but China has a stranglehold on a lot of the world's production is in China. So a lot of businesses go over there because they have lesser rules and you're able to make more profit. Because as a business, your job is to make more money. Is to maximize your wealth. That's the rules of business. So going offshore making money, I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. So as an American, there's this over here with all the luxury that's made from off the backs of somebody else. We benefit from that. So everything that you get is cheap. These iPhones that cost us $1,000 that's made over there from all these different parts, from China and all these different countries. And we pull out, and all of a sudden your iPhone costs you $5,000. Yeah, you'll be pretty pissed
How
about
much
that.
do they cost to make in Mexico is my next question.
Yeah, right. Probably not much. That's what a lot of companies moving down there. Probably not much.
My guess is pretty close to what it costs to make in China.
No, China got a whole other system over there. But will the quality be the same?
I mean, potentially. But if you're getting cheap items from China anyway, how much you sacrificing in quality going to Mexico?
Yeah, I don't know. So, but you got to build the infrastructure there.
But it's American infrastructure.
So how much
can be built?
It can be built, but how much would that cost? Like all that would be transferred to the cost of goods, man. When you build infrastructure, all that cost gets transferred into the cost of whatever item you buy.
But some infrastructures are probably already in place in Mexico, maybe on a small scale, but to some degree, there's probably some.
Yeah, it can be done. I'm not saying that it probably can be done. But companies they're not going to risk the partnerships and the deals and the money they making because whatever they got going on in their country, that's their business, man. Like what happens in this country, and nobody from China gives a damn about what happens to anybody in this country. So why should we give a damn what happens over in their country? We live on two opposite ends of this big old globe. We're on two different sides, man.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Mind your business. Hey, man, ain't got nothing to do with me, man. Ain't got nothing to do with me. It don't affect me. It don't affect nothing in my house. It don't affect none of the stuff that goes on, dog. Nothing. We got our own problems here, man. Why I'm worried about what's going on in China or like I told the one guy, I said, everybody, y'all, it's funny how y'all pick and choose. I said, because Brexit is going on right now. You know what Brexit is? Brexit? Are you familiar with Brexit run?
No.
Exactly. It's the euro and the British pound, the money, the situation, and people are rioting. And Boost was over. Remember Boost?
So
Brexit was going on when you was over there, right?
I have a question for you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So if your neighbor is beating on his old lady,
ain't got nothing to do with me.
And you see her outside with bruises.
Gonna come to my house, man. Ain't got nothing to do with me, yo. Because you know what's gonna happen. You go out there, and we all seen videos. You go out there and defend her honor. What happens? They both turn on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close the blinds and mind my own damn business, man. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He be whooping you ass with fire while you still there, yo.
I think I got a picture on my phone somewhere where it's, remember you guys ever watch that show Hogan's Heroes? Mm-hmm. Remember, boy? I see nothing. Is that what you're trying to say, Jeezy? You don't see nothing.
I don't see nothing. That ain't my business, man.
Man, Sergeant Schultz. You the Sergeant Schultz of the neighborhood, huh?
I don't see nothing.
I ain't see. That's my name is Paul.
I don't know none of y'all.
That's between y'all.
I don't know
Man.
none of y'all, man.
My name is Bennett.
Nah,
I ain't in it, man. All right, I ain't mad at
business,
you.
man. That's your house, man. You run your house the way you see fit, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
All right, well, hey, folks, make sure you don't live on A. Jeezy Street because he's not helping
I'm
you.
not helping you. Ain't got nothing to do with me, man.
Yeah, he's not helping.
Why should I get in and risk my life and all of a sudden I'm dead because I got involved and then all of a sudden they get back together? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. I'm minding my business, man.
All right, I ain't mad at you.
So what you was there for Brexit?
Have his radio show. Yeah, I'm sorry. What you say?
Brexit was going on when you was in London.
I can't understand what you're saying.
Brexit.
Explain what that is, man.
With the taxes and the euro and the British pound.
Well, because they're fighting about getting out of the European Union.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah,
That's happening right now.
Yeah, well, I mean that's been going on.
But I'm saying, what was the NFL in the last 2 weekends?
In Europe, London.
And nobody asked him nothing about Brexit, did they?
No, of course not.
Exactly. So why? So
it's business, but you got to think about this. London doesn't want to be in the European Union, so they don't really care about
but
that.
Brexit is going on.
Or England, I should say, England doesn't want to be in the European Union anyway. Yeah. And you guys realize that only, from what I understand, the only country that's benefiting from the European Union is Germany because you know why? They make all the cars. So they're pumping Europe with a bunch of cars and vehicles and little scooters and all that.
But
and
they're
not paying
riots,
taxes
man.
on
They're
it.
riots in the streets. People are outraged over there.
Yeah, what I talk about, those yellow jackets?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, all that stuff's happening right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, the yellow jackets are there, but I mean, even they've waited to the weekend to fight now. I mean, like it's starting to calm down a little bit,
Well, I'm saying they ain't got nothing to do with me. Over here.
I definitely understand, man. Heavy Hitters
Lebanon
Radio
right
show.
now, they fighting right now in Libya. Right now. That's in Africa. Mauling happening right now, yo. We over doing the podcast.
Hey, speaking of that, you know what today was here in Indianapolis? The prayer breakfast. The prayer breakfast was today in Indianapolis. Remember I talked about that from the family
White Jesus.
and the government. Well, no, not necessarily that, but it's the government, the government's control, the government's movement to integrate a theology into the government. So the prayer breakfast is the way that they do that, and they're all over the country. Today's was Indiana's prayer breakfast, and so here's what happens: they go in there, they pray, and they have all the different sects up there, and they kind of pray for everybody, so they can have a good session when they start back up. And that was all started by a group in D.C. ran by Doug Coe. I talked about the family, so if you haven't seen it, watch it on Netflix. But today in Indiana, the prayer breakfast was happening. None of us were invited, so we're not heavy hitters.
I'm not too mad about that.
Yeah.
White Run wasn't invited.
Now, can
I
I
was not
say?
invited. I would not have gone.
Can I say there was a point in my life?
Oh wow, your privilege really working
There's a
out.
point in my life where I was invited, and I was there.
Oh, how'd you get
Oh wow,
excommunicated?
and Moose is a black guy.
I was in there. Yeah. Well, you know what? Because
Wow.
in
So
every
Ron's a pilgrim wasn't invited. Never been invited.
in every
Moose, a black
situation,
guy, was invited.
Did your sin come
I'm
to
also
light?
not in politics.
Wow.
in
That's
every
amazing.
situation, there is
Wow, I didn't know
a
that.
lion or a wolf that we have to back, right?
Yeah.
And if you can find one that you can back, and I think that might have been my spot. Then all of a sudden, when I got clear, I'm like, I don't want any part of this, and I was out. So I mean, that's kind of truly what happened.
So you had to bow down to somebody though.
No, I was just like, once I realized kind of what was happening, I was out. I
They didn't
want no
quit
part of it.
you. You quit them.
I did quit them. Yeah, I did for sure. So, all right, folks, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. We talk about everything. You guys, and I'm still mad. We still have not talked about the fact that there's no black people in the Regal Beagle.
None, not one.
All right. So I guess we're not going to answer that question
Because
tonight.
if there was a brother in the Regal Beagle, he for sure would have been hitting Chrissy Snow.
Hey, I talked to Big Gates, man. He said that he disagreed, by the way. He going back a little bit. So LeBron had different opportunities. His daddy wasn't around, is what he said. And so I'm not sure where that came from, but I'm just reading what he talked about. Big Gates also said we ghetto. I think we already knew that.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
get it.
necessarily argue
Does
with
that count in your black privilege or no?
Because we're ghetto?
We got
I'm
you
asking.
here.
I'm asking.
We got you here,
Only
brother.
in
We
my-
all
talking
the
about black
no,
privilege.
Only
all
in
the
my
things.
black community.
All of
but
the
not
examples
outside
I
of
was
it.
given tonight, I'm still confused on, so I'm just not sure what counts as
Yeah,
black
you know
privilege
what?
and what doesn't. So I didn't know
Right.
if being
That's
ghetto
the
counted
privilege.
in the privilege.
That's the privilege of slang. You don't have to understand. We can speak our own language and you won't get it.
Hey, man,
Okay.
did you
We
guys hear
speak
about the
slang.
accident that happened today, though? Like on the highway? I think it was a
What's
grape
amazing?
truck that caught on fire.
Who?
A grape truck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, tell us
that
about
caught on
it.
fire. What's that?
Tell us all about it.
I mean, there's just a lot of raisins around, man. It's all good.
Well, there's gonna be some
You
wine.
are the best at dad jokes.
You like that?
You're the house
Ba-dum,
dad
boom,
joke
chink.
dude.
Ba-dum, boom, chink. Uh-oh, I can't say chink.
No, you
No,
can't.
that means an
Take it
armor.
back.
That
Take it
means
back. Take
armor.
it back.
I mean,
Did you just go boom, 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 chink?
is that what is it?
It's boom, 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 ch.
Oh, that's it?
He
That's
said
true.
boom, 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 chink. Like,
Well,
whoa.
you know what,
A
because-
symbol generally does not make that noise. Yeah,
My
you're
symbols.
right. You're right.
I was holding my symbol.
Yeah.
Tink. I was holding my
You
symbol.
ain't go chink. You went
Tink
straight.
can work.
I guess the China thing got you all screwed up.
Yeah, there must be something going on with me tonight.
But hold on, man. I'm the only one who took the stand.
Maybe we need to take
So I'm
you
about
to
to
the
ask D-Lo
hospital.
real quick. D-Lo, would you help your neighbor?
No.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Moose, you helping the neighbor?
Yes, I will help my neighbors. All
I
my
didn't
neighbors, I
see
would help
nothing.
them.
I
Matter
don't
Matter
know
of fact, I'm
nothing.
cool with my neighbors, so all my neighbors, I mean,
Run,
couple
you help
of
your
them are
neighbor.
married.
I'm helping
couple
the
of
one
them
that
are
I
not, and I'm
know.
helping.
I'm helping the one neighbor I know.
not
She's a
helping.
really nice
I'm
lady.
not helping none of them. The next day, I'm like, man, what happened last night? I saw y'all outside arguing. I want
I'm
the
definitely
dirt.
not bringing it up.
I want the
Nah,
dirt.
nah.
I get the
If
skin.
I didn't go help,
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
then I don't know nothing, so I'm not asking no
Fuck, I'm
questions.
be a cop. I'm not helping nobody.
All right, well.
My life is too
Hey, I tell you guys, all right, here's what's happening, man. So there's other news. There's other news out here, in the world, and I believe that there's some brews and reviews that we have. Has anybody seen
Yes.
the Joker? Have we talked about that yet?
No, I have not. I need to see it because everybody.
What?
I haven't seen the Joker.
I am
so
shocked.
surprised.
Why
I am
am
so surprised.
It's not Marvel. You should know
Because
this
you
by
go
now.
see all the movies.
all the Marvel movies.
No, you go see lots and lots of movies.
All right, so no problem. But I'm glad that there wasn't any kind of civil unrest.
People were worried about that.
because they thought that there was going to be some issues because the Joker was kind of a movie about
It's an incel white
mental
guy.
illness
It's an
and
incel, a white guy.
and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, they thought a lot of stuff was going to happen and nothing happened. Right? Are you guys surprised at that, or do you think that they were prepared for it? So
We ain't made it past Halloween yet. Let's give it time. It's still
yikes,
early.
man! Are you saying?
It's still
that?
early, though.
Okay, all right. I'm not
But he's
mad
an
at it.
incel. So that stuff's already happening. I mean, he can't. Whatever, man.
What's that?
He's an incel.
Explain what that is.
He's like insulated. He's a guy that can't get women. Don't know how to talk to women, and he gets picked on and bullied, and he has a condition that makes him laugh. From what I've heard from
I don't know, man. The Joker that was in what's the one where Will Smith was in it?
Will Smith.
Yeah.
You talking about the sixth?
Mod Squad? No, not Mod Squad.
Suicide
Squad.
Yeah.
The Joker that was in Suicide Squad had a woman. She was fine. He was.
Well,
and by the way,
this Joker.
he might have been the best Joker of them all. I feel like Joker that was in Suicide Squad because he was kind of dope.
The one from Dark Knight. What's his name?
Christian Bale.
Not Christian Bale, Dark Knight, but the Joker. I forget his name. He died, but
He killed himself, didn't
Yeah,
No,
his
he
name
Or
was
he? Did too many drugs or something?
I don't know how he
Is that
died.
Heath Ledger?
Heath
Yeah,
Ledger,
that's it.
yes.
That's it. Heath
He was
Ledger.
the
Yeah.
best Joker to me.
Did he kill
Outside
himself?
of Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
Yeah, suicide.
He did not
Okay.
kill it. He killed
Yes,
himself?
he did. Several years ago.
Overdose. Overdose, not suicide.
And I was gonna say Jack but actually, if you're old enough, which I'm not quite old enough, but I saw like reruns, the original Joker, and I can't think of his name right now. It might have been Rip Torn or something like that. We talked about Rip Torn not too long ago, maybe last week, week before. But he was a great Joker as well, and that was in the original boom, pow, bang Batman of the days.
None of them are Thanos. So, he's the greatest villain of all time.
All right, speaking of, I want to talk about memes real quick. Have you guys seen some pretty good memes? I saw one that was really good. So it's Thanos. Remember after Thanos snapped his finger, and like he's looking up, and the sun's rising up, and he's kind of sitting down, and he's tired.
Yeah.
And he just kind of sits down. So they showed that picture. So this is what they showed at first. They showed Ben Simmons hitting a three. and then they showed Thanos sitting down, and they said the caption was Ben Simmons after he hit his three finally. I watched it 6 times just because it was so funny to me, man.
Also the
Because
one,
if you guys don't know, Ben Simmons, I mean,
can't
he didn't
shoot.
shoot not one three since he's been in the pros and to this year. So anyway,
The one I like is the one with the referee doing the Lambo leap last night.
I don't think I said the referee did it.
But he didn't do it. They put the referee doing the Lambo leap after they cheated the Lions last night.
The referee or the kicker? I saw the kicker do it.
The referee.
Oh, somebody made one. Oh,
When the
okay.
referee was doing the Lambo leap.
Oh, the game was in Green Bay last
I'm
night.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
After
that's
like
pretty
5
good.
horrible calls. Matter of fact, at one point in that game last night,
I would say that's 6 in a row. Didn't
no, at one point, the Green Bay Packers had 13 men on the field and was not flagged.
Wow.
That's crazy. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
sometimes.
screw the Packers, man. I hate them.
Well, because you're
Just a
a
Bears
Bears
fan.
fan.
It's
All
over.
right, so and what about some other memes? We saw a meme that Lil C showed us today.
Well, girl,
I guess that was a video.
Well, girl knocked dude out.
Man,
No,
if you can see it.
beautiful. Man,
What was it called?
it was
It
beautiful.
goes from no skills to Tyson.
Dude, it was. I mean, that was a beautiful, beautiful punch.
Yeah.
I mean, she called him. It was perfect. I mean, she hit him with the rope, though. He was punching, laughing, and then she like fanked his little punch, ducked down, just came across with
The left hook. With the left hook, yeah.
I mean, caught him on a button, dropped him like a sack of potatoes.
By the way, and you're right, Jeezy. By the way, autocorrect, it's never duck. All right, I'm just saying that when especially when I'm in a bad mood.
It's not duck.
No.
It does make me really mad.
It's gonna take you a second to figure that one out.
She ducked.
It's for sure not ducking.
By
I'm
the
never
way,
ducking.
by the way, Otto.
You don't
I'm
duck?
sorry. What'd you say, Ron?
I'm never ducking. It's never ducking.
What is it?
Yeah,
Really? With autocorrect?
Just think about autocorrect, man, for a second.
What? You don't duck?
You know what, though? Sometimes, here's the thing with autocorrect. Multiple times I've tried to type shut, and it does not type shut. It types pineapples shit, and I think that is a bunch of nonsense. If you're going to know that I want to say pineapple shit, then you should know that it's not ducking.
So if you send a text, Jesus, that said,
Jesus doesn't know because he don't know how to spell.
if I come through, and the text types out, yo, if I come through,
You
I'm
trying
ducking.
to duck?
What?
You should
Look
see
at
his
DC's
face.
face. This
should
is
see
the
his
best
face.
I
ever.
have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe I missed something. I don't know.
Autocorrect on your phone.
What about it?
So if you're typing something and the autocorrect comes in,
Yeah.
and let's say you trying to text a broad,
the F is if we put the D in there.
and it says yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
what
you
we're
want to
talking
F, you put the D in there. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
What about it?
That was a great conversation right there. It happened very quickly.
That's what
and I
happens,
still
man.
think
See, that's
DZ
what happens
missed
when you have a
it.
woman on the
Jesus
show,
is
dog.
still very
It's a bunch of talking
confused.
about nothing. We just, I don't understand.
No, it's because you're not getting it. Oh, everybody else gets it.
But nobody else is laughing.
Bless your
I don't-
heart.
I was. I'm
Bless
just
your
now.
heart.
I'm like, I got my mouth open, hung open. Matter of fact, I slobbered on my shoulder a little bit. Trying
Maybe
to figure out.
Gross.
was I talking while she was saying something else? I mean, I usually do that.
No, I said it. I was looking. Matter of
No.
fact, I'm only looking at you. I talk to you most of the time, so because I know.
So
how
what
to
did I
get-
miss? I mean, I ain't gonna lie to the crown. The
You know
crown.
what? I think we missed it.
Yeah, you and me. I have no idea where ducking came from. I'm talking about the fight where she ducked.
We've missed the boat.
So
hit
The
the
boat's gone. It is long gone.
Hey, folks, I tell you what. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna slow it down for Jeezy. You ready?
Go
To?
ahead.
Usually this is my job,
All right.
but
So
it's for me.
we're talking about memes,
Yeah.
and we had a moose turn into a meme that said, "By the way, autocorrect.
I was still talking about the boxing thing when you said
It's
that.
not ducking.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
was
duck."
clearly not talking about that. I was talking about the girl still throwing the left when you said that.
So I tricked you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea what y'all was talking about. I'm talking
was-
about the boxing.
You created a moment, Moose.
I
Yeah.
did. I did a good job. You gonna give me a hand clap or something on the fancy
Man.
computer we got
No,
going
probably
tonight?
not.
I appreciate
I was
it,
ready to
man.
slow clap for you, bro.
That's what
Right, I'm
talking
in on
about,
that.
man. All right, so hey, have his radio show. I'll tell you what. If you
Really just
all
slow clapping.
right,
The third really does
Bruising
make a
reviews,
difference. Yes.
go.
Yo. Bruising reviews, man. Listen. I've been
Moose
all
does
on my
this all the time. Go.
Shout out to the DDs.
I've been
Out there.
all on my Naptown stuff here the last couple days. So I got 2 Naptown albums that I've checked out recently. One jazz, one hip hop. You know, both awesome. So listen, if you're a jazz lover, you definitely want to check out my man Jared Michael, his band Premium Blend. They dropped an album recently, Vices. I think it's like 7 songs. I mean, he's got some dope local artists on there, dope musicians like Rob Dixon is on several of the songs. I mean, this is just a dope, cool vibe album. So definitely check that out. And my girl American, yo, she's doing it. She was on the T.I. show on Netflix, the talent show. I'm trying to think what else she's done here recently. She recently dropped an album called Chaotic, and yo, this chick has bars. Like, she's incredible. She's young, she's hard, she's aggressive, she's smart, she's thoughtful. I mean, she's just the ultimate lyricist. She's sexy, she's cute, she's in college, and she's a virgin, and she's righteous. Like, and her music is phenomenal for her to be so young.
I think it's
So
funny that
talented.
we add all that stuff in there, like Virgin. You know, 'cause
She's-
we wouldn't
she's
say,
untapped
man,
talent.
we got
Literally.
Jeezy. I hope people got that. I hope they were faster than you on that on the ducking situation, because that was really good. I'm proud of you, man. I'm really proud. We should almost have a segment called "Virgins in Society." They're untapped. They're untapped. Call it untapped talent. All right, so,
Untapped talent.
yes, that's a new show coming up, folks. Untapped talent, and we're strictly talking about virgins and everything.
We had
doing
the
a
little
lot of
scene here.
research.
Hey, when you said
We got the little
T.I.
scene in the
show,
building.
Were you untapped talent?
He's real quiet.
Were you? Hey, were you talking about? We talking about Rhythm and Flow? Or is that Rhythm and Flow?
That may be
Have
the
you
name
seen
of the
that?
show. No, I have not.
It's
seen
so man. I tell you what, Rhythm and Flow, guys.
It's
Rhythm-
on my
Rhythm and
suggestion.
Flow,
Should
Rhythm
I
and
watch
Flow
it?
is a great show. Matter of fact,
Runs
the
on
next
Untapped
3 episodes come out tomorrow.
Nice.
And so there's 3 shows come out a week, and it made me mad because I caught up last week, and then I was mad because then I had to wait. I had to wait a week, but it is very similar to
These nuts.
to like when Blake well, you know what's that show when they sing, they watch them sing.
It's over with.
You know what I'm talking about? They watch them
America's Got Talent?
sing. No,
No, The
Blake
Voice.
and the
The
Voice.
Voice.
Yeah, so it's,
Ron's gonna be Chief Ron. You see her hair and all that shit? I mean, she's straight indigenous people there. Yeah.
I
She's
told
the
you I
16th,
am
brother.
indigenous.
Your shit. I
She's
mean, I'm telling you,
1/16.
I'm drunk right now. I'm looking at you like you could be like Chief Ron. Yo.
Pocahontas.
Was you feeling that crown, bro?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Sacagawea.
man.
You could have.
There's things
Sacagawea.
happening on this side of the
Sacagawea.
table.
All
Because
right,
my
so-
hair's down?
Yeah, I ain't never seen it down.
Oh. Yes, you have.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of hair. Yeah.
I do have a lot of hair.
Rapunzel, and it's jet black too. It's like,
It is very dark.
it's like Rapunzel.
So there's
Rapunzel,
some,
Rapunzel.
She has blonde hair.
Let's your hair down.
There could
Man, I'm
definitely
trying to
be
remember what
some
I was talking
indigenous
about. You
genes.
guys
You were
gotta
talking
tell me
about
what
The
it was.
Voice
She won't like
and
pull that
Hustle
Oh
and
yeah,
Flow.
Rhythm and Flow. Rhythm and
Rhythm and
Flow. Have
Flow.
you guys seen that? That's my Booze and Reviews. It's Rhythm and Flow, and it has 3
Run like the dog off
Yeah.
Incredibles.
it has 3 folks. Listen, it has T.I., it
Oh,
has
for real?
Cardi B and
Cardi B.
Chance
got
the Rapper, right? And they are like the judges, and they're trying to pick the next
Yes,
few
that's the name of the
rappers.
show that American was on.
Rhythm and Flow. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen her yet. So yeah, I mean it's a really good show, man. It's on Netflix. I give it 0 brews, by the way.
Good shit.
I give it 0 brews.
Sweet.
I'm cussing a
Yeah.
lot because I'm drunk.
So
This
it
is
is
I
kinda
can
fun.
see your eyes are different.
I know.
I know he's all leaned back in his
All
chair.
right, what's happening?
So, Brews and Reviews, I restarted watching Scandal.
Season 1?
Yes, I started from the beginning
It was
again.
good.
It was a really good
It
show.
was.
However, it does make me want to just drink a glass of wine because she's always drinking
Always
wine,
wine, yeah.
and I love wine. So, but
I'll admit-
here's the deal: if you guys haven't watched it in a while, start over and watch it again.
I'll admit, I watched Scandal up to like season 3 and I tapped out. Once she started crying every episode, I was
I
like,
think I watched all of
I'm
it.
Because it was good when she was she was plotting and scheming. She was like being
Yes.
aggressive in the charge.
And then it turned into more of a love
Yeah,
story.
and I was like,
You're
what is
right.
this? Like no,
You're right.
You was like the hardcore, like, no, we gonna do
You're
this.
right.
Then all of a sudden it was like, I'm in love with the president, and it's like she's crying every episode. I'm like,
Yes,
I'm done.
but I used to watch Scandal, and then I would watch How to Get Away with Murder, and I did just rewatch How to Get Away with Murder also.
Yeah.
Good show.
I got a quick Brews and Reviews too.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I didn't brew with the album.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so both of
We
them,
totally
Vices
interrupted you.
and Chaotic. 0 brews on both. Definitely give them a check.
What's up? I'm a Brews review a movie that we all seen. So I'm just gonna bring it up again.
What is it?
The fight scene in Endgame
Oh my gosh.
might have been the greatest.
I mean, you are really inebriated slightly.
The fight scene.
We're gonna have
Matter
to
of
drive
fact, I
Juicy
wa- I
home.
Because
just
we're
watched-
for sure not talking about that anymore.
No, I know that, but we're doing Brews and Reviews. So I'm a Brew review.
Is there a
the
place
epic
that
fight
Juicy
scene
can crash here?
at Endgame of the Avengers movie. It might be one of the greatest scenes, man, in cinematic history, man, because it's just nicely tied up. When Cap grabbed the hammer and hit, to this day, I pop every time I see that. It was awesome, man.
Can you define that, please?
You know what pop means?
does
No,
that
we're
mean?
not. No, we're
Y'all
not
don't watch
defining
Pop
it.
means you cheer, you get excited.
We're not defining it. Go.
Oh,
Just
good.
keep
That's
going.
better than
Go,
what I was
go,
thinking.
go.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Continue.
because like the scene has like
And what-
Thanos pushing the axe into Thor's chest, and then they slow motion the hammer lifting up. So you think that it's Thor calling Mjolnir to come so he can hit Thanos, but really it's Cap. Picks it up, hits Thanos, and it comes back in his hand, and he was like, "I knew it." Dog, I blow up every time. I'm smiling now, yo. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go home and watch that
All right,
scene
so
again.
I tell you what,
It's one of the greatest
I
scenes of all
want to
time.
watch that again, but I got. You know what? The little C's here with me, folks.
Have you seen that little scene?
Hold on a
in-game?
second. No, he didn't say that. Wait 1 second. But you know what he
deprive
said?
your son of
You know what he
great.
said though? He says the best fight scene is at the church fight in Kingsman,
That's
man.
close, but
That is a good one.
Also,
And that's 1 on 50.
hey, did you hear about?
No.
Somebody put Trump's face on the dude that was in the.
All right. Real quick. I
Oh,
gotta
no, that's another meme.
There's
Yo,
one.
no,
Or
this,
GIF.
this was
Lil
on
C.
at his property.
Say
Like,
what?
They were showing a video at his property, the Hotel Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, Mar-a-Lago,
They
yeah.
were showing this on film
Uh-huh.
while his guests were there. So
And somebody put his face
it's
on.
on in the lobbies, like it's a propaganda video.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
got like the different news networks as the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Real quick, there's a scene, Lil C, is a movie called Anna, A-N-N-A. It will compete with that scene. She goes into this. She's trying to join the KGB. Is that Russian KGB? So they send her into this building to kill one guy. They give her a gun, and she walks in. The gun has no bullets, and she got to fight like 50 dudes.
Wow.
It's a one shot, and she is whooping everybody. We know it's not realistic because whatever, but she's whooping everybody. I did it just for Run to make Run cringe, but she's whooping everybody.
I just rolled my eyes.
And the thing is, they give her 5 minutes. The lady was like, "You got 5 minutes," and she's whooping it's a one shot. It's like the most. It's amazing scene.
I got a question for you. I mean, speaking of that, then what about when Denzel was in Equalizer 2?
Yeah.
I mean, he always put the timer on and just start whooping everybody in the wherever.
But
was
what
in the
he's saying
vicinity.
is like the one shot, which means it basically is one take, and we get everything in one take. That's how the Kingsman was. That's called a one shot. So all that scene was choreographed for one shot, one take only, and he killed all them people, and it was choreographed perfect. And same with this movie Anna. It's one take, all multiple camera angles. You just see her whooping everybody. You like, gee.
The things that he was whooping people with.
Oh, you just,
I mean, no.
insane.
Straight
this
up.
way.
I'm-
You was
I'm-
Like 3 people with a pen.
Oh, when you see Anna, yeah, Anna's killing jokes.
Is that
with,
new?
like,
Is
the
that
bar,
a new? Is like
actual
that a
bar.
new?
She's put stuff off
Is
the
that a new
bars.
movie or has it been around?
This came out in June.
Okay, so it's
It's
been
called
around.
Anna.
It's been out.
I watched it. I watched it the other night. I give it probably 2 brews.
Wow, 2 brews.
It's pretty good. It jumps around. You got to.
Yeah.
It's one of the movies you got to keep up because it goes like 3 months later, 5 years earlier, 3 years. Later. You know what I mean? It does. It does.
And
but-
it's not a Quentin Tarantino.
no,
flick?
it's not. But it ties everything. Everything that she becomes a hitman from the government. She's that
Oh,
good.
okay. Hey,
But it bounces around to how she gets out of it. It's cool. It's a good movie.
I like it, man. By the way, I had a Brews and Views. So, guys, I went to VA this weekend. I was in Maryland and whatnot. I posted a
Yeah, we saw the
video.
video.
I posted a video of this place called the Fish Market that I was at, man, and it was off the chains. As a matter of fact, I got the owner's telephone number. I was supposed to call tonight, but I can't find the phone number. Like she totally wrote it on like a napkin.
You're supposed to take a picture of it.
Probably because you got that goofy ass iPhone. You had to know. You just pull a pen out and write on your phone. And it'll work.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Well,
then
she-
you mess
she
up the
handed-
group
she handed it to
messages.
me.
with a picture.
She handed it to me, so yeah. So I didn't, anyway, I don't have it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to write the Fish
You
Market
got that
on.
goofy ass iPhone. That's why.
No, I don't think so. And you know what? Here's the thing, Jeezy. I've been with you long enough. Where
You'll
that
be back
phone,
to
that
iPhone.
phone, you know, you'll be back on iPhone in a minute.
I'm not
yeah,
going
you'll be
not
back.
Right now. Not
so.
for a while.
Not right now, he
Not
said.
for
Did
a
you
while.
see the way that Marvel looks on his phone? iPhone never has a chance with him now.
Never.
Whatever.
What'd you say?
It-
The way that
there will.
Spider-Man hung upside down from that web
You see that screen
on
there?
Jeezy's phone.
It's
That's
over.
hilarious.
Oh my
man.
gosh.
There's no going back.
Hey, so all right, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. You guys got anything? I don't think we have. You guys got anything else? Man?
We're at
What
an
you
hour
guys doing?
53, so.
Wow,
I'm
that's
done,
what's
we're done.
up.
We all drunk,
That's
man.
because we kicking it.
We're not all drunk, Jeezy. It's
I was
just
gonna
you.
say we're not,
We love
yeah,
you so
we're
much.
not.
It's just you.
Yeah, we're not. We're not.
It's only-
Yo,
Yeah.
whatever Moose poured. Wow.
It wasn't me.
Your phone would
It
never
hurts
look
my
that good.
eyes. Ow. It is so bright.
It
I
wasn't
could
me.
never-
Let's go to OLED panel.
I could
I don't
never
like it.
have
It
a
hurts my
Marvel
eyes.
character look that good on my phone, Jeezy.
Isn't that all that you want out of life,
I
D-Lo?
know D-Lo was being sarcastic, but he's still my guy, yo.
No, you know the show I listened to the other day. He was calling you books,
Hey,
and I was telling the story about how he wouldn't even know if I'm like, hey, D-Lo said such and such. He's like, who's that? I'm like, books. Oh, okay, yeah. What's going on?
I would just like to say for the record, because I never look at the computer screen while we're doing this, there is a setting here that says auto ducking. I promise you, it says auto ducking.
No, we know. I know it's on there.
I love it. Okay, well, I don't run these things, so That makes me
There's
happy.
a reason why you don't.
I don't want to. I don't want that
You start
responsibility.
laughing when it says auto ducking.
What if that was
Only
just-
because we had that whole
what if
conversation
that was
today.
Just an autocorrect.
Maybe it is.
You're supposed to be auto fudging.
Oh, well, hey, welcome back. I'm glad you caught up with us, man. It took about 25 minutes.
Right, man.
25 minutes you caught up with. Welcome
I
to
was
the
in the middle
show.
of my joke.
Hey,
Folks, ladies and gentlemen, LGZ Mbaku.
he's
back.
here in the building.
In the building.
He's back. He's back.
F all y'all couches, man.
I know, man. I know. You ever talk to somebody?
Why do you want to
man?
duck my couch? I'm confused.
Have you ever talked to somebody? You
know
say
what that means
something?
where they come from, F your couch?
No. I have seen that.
No,
where does
probably
that come
because
from?
I'm
I've
not
seen
black.
that.
Dave Chappelle.
There's
I don't have
That's right,
black
Dave Chappelle.
privilege.
That's right.
I've never watched an episode of Dave Chappelle.
Wow. Those first couple
Confessions.
seasons were incredible.
Confessions of a white girl.
And timeless. And if you
That
were
could be a
ever
segment on
going,
the show.
if you were ever
Yes.
going,
Oh my
to
gosh,
Dave-
this could be so good.
Yeah. We need that. We need
Confessions
I say
of
we
a
do it
white girl.
right
if you were-
now,
if you were ever
ready.
gonna
I
be a
already did
friend
it.
Yeah,
of the
she said no.
community,
Five
if
in
you're
a
ever
row.
going to be an ally of the community,
I have to watch
you
Dave
have to
Chappelle.
you have to watch the
And
first
Martin.
couple seasons.
Okay.
You
But
watch
I've
Of
seen.
Martin?
Dave
Do
Chappelle
I,
and-
no,
and
but do
Martin.
I
No,
get
she has to
points?
watch Martin. She has to watch Sanford
Probably a
and Son.
different world. Too.
Okay,
That'd be
I've
okay,
seen
too.
Sanford and Sons, and I've seen Boys in the Hood, and I've seen School Days, and I've seen
How's a little C you seen Sanford and Son?
You're just a jigaboo.
Have you seen Martin?
Walking around with nothing to do.
Good job, Dad.
When I first watched
You're
School
just
Days,
a
I was very
woman
confused, and I had a lot of
to be-
questions.
That's what's up. You know, he did a good job.
So I don't feel like that was
It's
the
part of the learning curve.
it was
Are you
definitely a learning
You guys
curve.
ready?
I feel like
Confessions of a Pilgrim
are you gonna
girl.
like give me a
We need
topic
5
to
of 'em
confess
ready
on?
to Go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've never seen any of the Friday movies.
That's ridiculous.
What about auto racing? Confessions.
That's terrible.
What are you talking
I wouldn't-
about?
I wouldn't admit
likes
that.
it.
You
What?
ever seen Friday? Like the
No,
first one?
none of them.
That is insane.
None of them.
What's it?
No, I have not seen How High.
So we're not even talking about that. All right, confession. So that's one. Confession number 2. Auto racing.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Are there any
you watch
brothers?
au-
Are
do
there
you
any
watch
brothers
auto
in auto racing?
Oh, like in NASCAR?
Correct.
Yes. There's got to be at least
What's
one.
his name? There's a good guess right there, folks.
I know.
Well, here's the thing, because Jimmy Johnson's a white dude, and so I feel like the black dude should be Jimmy Johnson.
Because why? Why do you want,
Yes.
what's the reason you want him to be called Jimmy?
Because that boy named Jimmy.
And his last name is Johnson.
Only because his last name is
Yeah,
And
Johnson.
they
big
call
rank,
him
huh?
Jimbo.
Oh, let's see.
But we did have. What was the dude? The black dude we had on the show. That one of the funniest episodes we ever done in our lives.
Well, he was a 500. He's a 500 driver, but it's Willie Rib. Willie
really,
T. Rib.
really see.
Willie T. Reed.
Willie T.
Dude.
Rib.
Was that-
He's a
I swear
500.
to
Was that
Find
the
an
name his
episode.
mom gave him?
That might have been
Yeah,
that might have
Willie
been
T.
the
Rib,
greatest heavy hitters episode of all time. Was the Willie T. Ribs?
It was very funny.
Oh my God! My
very
head,
funny.
my head was hurting so hard.
Yeah, it was very
But
funny.
y'all don't know Willie T. Ribs was a black NASCAR driver.
No, he was a
really-
black
Indy
five
car.
Indy
Indy 500.
car driver. Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, his name was really Willie T. Ribs.
Yes. Folks, if you want to go back, matter of fact, I might try to find that one and post it back. All right, so
Yes.
NASCAR, his name is Bubba.
Watson.
Bubba Watson, yeah.
But
he's a
Watson
brother.
played golf.
Right, that's what
Bubba
Yeah,
Watson is for sure.
He plays golf.
Bubba Watson is
There
a
are two
golfer.
Bubba Watsons
I'm
then.
trying
not
to tell
black.
you. I'm trying to tell you, Bubba Watson.
He's not
is also
black.
A NASCAR
He's a black.
driver.
He's a black NASCAR
You look
driver.
up NASCAR driver. Look up Bubba Watson for sure. All right.
Let's talk about Willie T. Ribs. When the great Rob was like, "Yeah, I'm down here today," there's a lot of people using their EBT.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That
Bubba
was
Wallace.
close.
Bubba Wallace.
He was like, "I'm down here and they doing the EBT." Oh, that was crazy. About the infield, because on
Yes.
the turns in NASCAR. How he
It's
explained
Indy
it.
500, big boy.
Yeah,
Indy
the 500, you go through all the turns. If you talk about what you see at the turns, so we all had a different turn. We was talking about what we see.
Oh,
down
I've
there.
listened to that show
It's
before.
pretty
Oh
amazing.
man, he was
It's
like,
pretty
"Yeah,
amazing.
they down here doing the electric slide."
That's
They got races real
That's
fast.
real.
We had that comedian. We had that
That's
They
comedian.
look like
on
Willie
there.
T. Ribs.
Yeah, he had that comedian.
Yeah.
All right, so I need another one. So that's 2. What's another one?
So I can do the electric slide, but I probably cannot do the cha-cha slide, but I can do the Cotton Eye Joe.
Okay, I can do that.
The Cotton Eye Joe?
Catman
Yeah.
Joe.
No, I'm sure it's Cotton Eye
Cotton
Joe.
Eye
It is
Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's number 3. Go.
Um,
Give me some more movies you ever see. Give me some more examples. Have you seen?
Well,
No. I still want the Pilgrim Confessions. From naturally.
I'm allergic to watermelon, so I can't eat it. It's really sad. I can't even cut it up. I can't even be around it.
Okay, I think that's weak. We gotta have a better confession than watermelon.
Well, see, now that I live in the hood, my life's a little bit different. But like, circa 2007, if we go back a little bit, I for sure did not know that the only way to get fish was with hot sauce or mustard. I didn't know those were the two options. In my hood, it's tartar sauce.
This table was not unfamiliar to you tonight.
So, no. I know my way around that table now. However,
we should take a picture of the table, man.
However,
Folks, I know if you know
circa
now.
2007, not so much.
I know,
But
folks,
this
I know
is
if you
very
know now,
familiar.
but we got catfish on the
Earlier,
table.
when you said, "Is there bread in plastic bags?" it made me smile.
It was only right I asked.
I think that's a fair question. So
That's hilarious.
those are my 5 for
I didn't
today.
know that anyone heard that.
Well, I had to turn my radio all the way up, but I did hear it. Jesus doing the
He's for
Douglas.
sure. Jesus for sure.
Yes, this is the best ever,
He's
you
for
guys.
Sure. Hey, folks, I'll tell you what.
I haven't seen him like this in a while.
We're just going ham. I think we're on vacation.
Ask
But,
some more
hey,
movie
folks,
questions,
tell you
and
what,
I'll say
man,
yes or no.
Holla at us.
Ask some more movie questions. I'll say yes or no.
All right, go.
Have you seen Minister Society?
Yes.
Okay.
Dead presidents.
No.
Don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood.
She has not
No.
seen that one.
No, but I have
CB4.
seen Juice.
Oh.
What?
You seen Above the Rim?
CB4.
I don't.
Oh.
Have you seen Above the Rim?
No.
Have you seen The Wire?
No.
That's
Oh,
not a
my
movie.
God.
Have you seen Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans is one of my most favorite movies ever in the history of always.
What about Glory Road?
I can quote
What
Remember
about
the Titans
Living
beginning
Life?
to end.
Do you know who Rudy Ray Moore is?
I know who Rudy is that played at Notre Dame.
No, not the same.
I've,
Matter of fact, it's
I've actually
way-
got a Rudy Ray Moore album in my garage.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, when we get done, when you play it,
I will play a
Oh,
Rudy
this is
Ray
going to be
Moore
so
album.
interesting. I'm
and I'm
very
just going to
excited.
say, way down in the jungle deep, the signifying monkey
You know who
stepped on
Sidney
the
Poitier
lion's
is?
feet.
Classic Dolomite.
You know who Sidney
Yes.
Poitier is?
No.
Wow, folks, we have us a true Pilgrim girl on the show. Hey, it's Heavy's radio
That's
show,
what I do.
man. You know
Carol,
what?
I know who she is.
I mean, I've heard that
Oh
name.
gosh, man, now you're going too old for it. Probably at this
R.I.P.
point.
But
Yeah,
I'm
that's right.
old.
She just
I'm
passed
not that
away like
old.
last week,
No,
right?
Tay Diggs.
2
Yeah, I
weeks
think
ago.
we are
Yes?
Peter last week too, and
Yeah.
Run was telling us about Rip.
What?
Rip
Yes.
passing away. Rip.
Rip Torn. Or
Rip
somebody.
Torn.
Yeah. Hey guys, Heavy's
Rip
radio
Taylor.
show. Remember,
We are where you are.
So get
what in
comfortable.
the world's happening?
You paused. It was uncomfortable.
You don't have. You can just let.
Okay,
it,
go-
That
go
can be a
again.
dramatic pause.
Go
too.
ahead.
I dig that.
Okay.
A
I wasn't
dramatic
ready for
pause?
that.
Did you
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, Run jumped on that.
Auto
I
duck
know.
it. I know.
She
Go
jumped-
ahead.
what the
Sorry.
heck?
Go ahead.
Folks, Heavy's radio show. Remember, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
And come on in.
Your mouth.
What's us,
Your
man?
face and your DDs.